Now, with Andy Ulickney, here's the Dean of the Dogs, Jim Doyle, on Sports Radio, HLN.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight, from Crispin Field in Berwick, it's the Bulldogs against the Cougars of Hazleton area. I am Jim Doyle, along with Andy Ulickney. The producer for tonight's broadcast is Raven Klein. Well, the Berwick High School football team is going to do something, or at least try to do something tonight they haven't been asked to do all season, and that is to bounce back from a loss. They suffered their first loss last Friday night in Peckville to powerful Valley View. Bulldogs had a 2-touchdown lead late in the third quarter. Couldn't hang on, lost that one 35-28. So they come in with a 5-1 record against a Hazleton area team, a very young Hazleton area team that is really struggling on the season. They are 1-5 coming in. Their one victory was a 35-34 decision over Wyoming Valley West on week 2. This is a team that will start 5 ninth graders tonight, and they will be going against a Berwick team that, again, we'll see how they bounce back and how they feel after suffering adversity really for the first time this season. The Bulldogs, fourth highest scoring team in the Wyoming Valley Conference, over 30 points a game. Even with those 35 points allowed last week, they are still second in the Wyoming Valley Conference in points allowed, 9.6, and they are number 1 in the Wyoming Valley Conference against the rush, giving up 22.8 yards to the opposition per game. So that's our matchup here tonight. Berwick against Hazleton area. Andy Ulickney with us for Bulldogs football. Andy, both you and I know Mike Brennan, the Hazleton area coach, very well. He's a great coach. He's one of the best people you'll ever meet in this profession. This has to be a tough season for him. You look at the people he lost from last year's team: Sparky Walk, Damon Horton, Jacob Hunsinger, David Smith. These are tremendous players, not just seniors. They were all good. And boy, when's the last time you remember a Hazleton area team starting 5 freshmen?
No, you look and you see that 6A number side of them, one of the largest school districts, but they don't get all that many out for football. Mike Brennan recruits it, tries to get the guys. He loves his team, but it's just not deep with the seniors, and the talent that you lost in a guy like Sparky Wolk, who coached quarterback this team for so long. Tremendous talent. One of the more impressive guys, I remember Damon Horton when I first saw him as a sophomore, just bedazzling me with the way he was able to run. No, they've been hurt by graduation, and there hasn't been that much coming up, and then, a few injuries, and before you know it, you're starting a freshman at quarterback.
Yes, one of those injuries is to number 12, Kellen Warner, a junior, who has played pretty well at that quarterback position, taking over for Sparky Walk. 55% completion, 675 yards, and 6 touchdowns. But he's injured. He can't go. And Tyler Wolf, how would you like to be a 5'9", 140-pound ninth grader starting against this Berwick defense?
You're looking at giving up 50, 60, 70 pounds against most of these defenders, and they do come at you. And Berwick will continue to come at people. They know this is a team that has success when it's able to pass effectively. While they're down a quarterback, they're still going to go with that passing game plan, so they're going to come after them, that's for sure.
Devastating loss for Berwick last Friday. A game they could have, should have won. They didn't. How do you think they'll bounce back?
I think they'll bounce back well. I think it's one of those get mad type of things. I think the fact that you can redeem yourself further down in the playoffs, with a rematch makes it good. I think that, they're going to see how Dallas goes and then try to take Dallas on. So there's a number of challenges along the way, but first things first is this game. And I think this is where you have to come back rejuvenated, come back refreshed, come back with that killer instinct rather than the dejection and demoralized tone you felt immediately after that loss.
Andy will be by later with the keys to tonight's game. When we return, we'll hear from Mike Brennan, the head coach of the Cougars of Hazleton area. You're listening to Berwick Football on Sports Radio HLM.
SUV season is here at Kent Pollock Ford. Get back to school with plenty of cargo room and enough seating to haul all your family and friends. Don't worry about being a teacher's pet. You get to grade with $5,500 back on every 2019 Ford SUV going on now at Kent Pollock Ford. Need a little more pickup at your tailgate? Get up to $12,900 in savings off MSRP or 0% financing on America's best-selling truck, the 2019 Ford F-150. Don't be late. Offers end soon. Stop in and shop Kent Pollock Ford, Berwick.
How does free and easy checking with no baggage sound? Well, there is a little baggage. The free rolling duffel bag you get when you sign up for free and easy checking with First Columbia Bank. Not only will you get a checking account with no monthly fees and free online and mobile banking, First Columbia will also buy back your unused checks and debit cards from your old bank. Plus, for a limited time, you will receive a free Travelers Club rolling duffel bag when you open a checking account or refer a friend to us. First Columbia Bank, with you every step of the way. Restrictions and data rates may apply.
Neighbor Fence Company has fencing for where you want it, serving Columbia, Montour, and Luzerne counties. Neighbor Fence provides top-quality residential and commercial fencing, vinyl, chain link, wood, aluminum, and ornamental fencing, plus vinyl railing and specialty products. Neighbor Fence Company, 1140 State Route 239 in Wapwallopen. Call 570-752-4423 or visit them online at neighborfencecompany.com. Neighbor Fence Company is a proud sponsor of local youth athletic teams.
At Traditional Home Healthcare, their beliefs make all the difference. You have the right to choose the highest level of healthcare in your own home, from pediatrics to seniors, as well as non-skilled home care services like meal prep, housekeeping, and companionship. They'll work with you every step of the way to create a care plan for your loved one, because Traditional is more than a home healthcare agency. They're your extended family when family can't be there. Visit TraditionalHomeHealthcare.com today.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
Crispin Field, home to Berwick football since 1929. The venue for this Week 7 matchup as the Bulldogs go against the Cougars of Hazleton area. Considering that Hazleton area lost 15 starters from last year's team that made it to the second round of the postseason playoffs, it's not surprising that the Cougars are struggling with that 1-5 record. Here's how veteran head coach Mike Brennan evaluates his team's season to date.
Effort's been tremendous. Love the attitude and effort of these kids. Their preparation's been outstanding. We show signs of being a nice football team on both sides of the ball, and then we show signs of our youth where we almost catastrophically implode. It's happened a couple times this year with turnovers. We've had red zone trips that resulted in 0 points, and I think that's part of the learning process. We understand that. We talk to our kids about, we're not young anymore. We don't want to hear about how young we are in the youth movement, that kind of thing. We have good players who are going to continue to get better, but we have to be more productive. I mean, we played, I think, arguably the most difficult schedule around, and we challenge our kids every day and every week to continue to improve, and obviously we have another big one this week at Berwick against a very good football team.
You got some seniors. One is Matt Fisher, played a lot of football for you last year. What does he bring to the team?
First of all, outstanding leadership. He's a great kid. He's got superior intelligence. He's a hard worker. The kids look up to him, and he's certainly the heart and soul of our team in terms of leadership and maturity and experience. He does everything well. You'll see him everywhere. You'll see him catching the ball. He can't play quarterback. He can run it. He's a tremendous blocker on the edge defensively. He's one of our best defensive players and has been. And, he's truly a great representative of our program in terms of what we're trying to accomplish. And Matt Fisher's he's a special young man.
Berwick's had a good season today. What impresses you the most about them?
Their physicality on defense, no question. I mean, they line up, they look imposing. They're very physical. They run to the football. They take a lot of pride in their defense, and they have certainly a very physical mentality about the way they play. Then you flip it over the offensive side of the ball as well, and they're the same. So, offensively, they're very, very good. Defensively, they're obviously, I think, one of the best teams we may have seen all year. We'll certainly have our work cut out for us.
That's Mike Brennan, a graduate of Nativity High School and Temple University in his 6th season as the head coach of the Cougars of Hazleton area. 19th year overall as a head coach. He coached at Nativity, Mount Carmel, Blue Mountain. He won 2 state championships on the AA level at Mount Carmel in 2000 and 2002. But a very young Hazleton team struggling against a good schedule. They come into this game against the Bulldogs with a record of 1-5. Hazleton area against Berwick. Starting lineups coming up next. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
It's Alexander Family Buick GMC's end of summer clearance sale. Great summer sales have left us overstocked with the highest quality pre-owned vehicles. One owner, local trades, off-lease cars and trucks, all reduced to sell. Get a 2017 Cadillac XT5 for only $28,988 and an 18 Chrysler Pacifica only $23,988 or an 18 Buick Encore for just $16,988. Check us out online or stop and shop in Bloomsburg for the lowest price guaranteed. Alexander Family Buick GMC. We're taking deals the other guys won't.
Riverview Block of Berwick, with over 75 years of service, can handle all your block and concrete needs. They carry all sizes of concrete block, including decorative E.P. Henry landscaping block. Their concrete is PennDOT approved and delivered with front discharge trucks. Riverview Block also carries masonry supplies, tools, cement, sand, and stone. For prompt delivery, call Riverview Block, 570-752-7191. Riverview Block is proud to support the Berwick Bulldogs.
S.J. Kowalski Heating and Air Conditioning sells comfort. Since 1972, S.J. Kowalski understands the importance of doing business locally. They service what they sell and take pride in customer satisfaction. S.J. Kowalski is a trained comfort specialist, a Lennox dealer, and they are Northeastern Pennsylvania's premier dealer of Mitsubishi ductless mini split systems. S.J. Kowalski also sells and installs energy-efficient Rinnai water heaters and geothermal systems. Call 1-888-KOWALSKI and ask about special promotions and zero-interest financing.
Yannick Real Estate is your full-service real estate agency. Buying, selling, residential, commercial, multifamily, land, and rental management. Call Yannick Real Estate. Owner Mike Yannick, a veteran himself, served his country and has been serving this area for decades. Mike and his staff will guide you through the real estate process. Veterans, be sure to check the VA loan options. Yannick Real Estate, your full-service real estate agency. 1232 West Front Street in Berwick. Call 759-3300.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
We have our first fall weather for the 2019 high school football season. 55 degrees here at Crispin Field as we get set for the 26th meeting between Berwick and Hazleton area. Here's the starting lineup offensively for the Cougars. At the tight end, number 82, Bryce Torstrup. He is a 6'1", 185-pound junior. The left tackle, the only returning start along that front from a year ago, number 72, Jason Beaver. He is 6'3", 275, a junior. One of the captains, number 50, Richie Santos, starts at left guard. He's 5'10", 215 pounds, a senior. James Bugda starts at center for the Cougars, 5'9", 180, a junior. The right guard is a junior, number 58, Seth Hunsinger. He is 5'10", 200 pounds. And the right tackle is number 62, Leo Kelly, just a sophomore, 5'11", 220 pounds. The leading receiver on this team, in fact, he's sixth in the Wyoming Valley Conference in receptions, is Matt Fisher. 5'10", 175 pounds, a senior. 18 receptions, 262 yards, and 2 touchdowns. With Kellen Warner out with an injury at the quarterback spot, Fisher will be the backup quarterback for the Cougars tonight. The starting quarterback is a freshman. He's thrown only 2 passes, neither one complete on the season. 5'9", 140-pound Tyler Wolf, playing in place of the injured Kellen Warner. At the running back spot, number 33, Lance Johnson. He's a 5'9", 175-pound senior. Saw a lot of action at the running back spot last year during injuries to Damon Horton. He has 49 carries, 143 yards, averaging 2.9 yards a carry. They do throw to him. He has 9 catches, 111 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The fullback will be number 42, Kevin Molesky. He's a 6', 215-pound junior, 88 carries on the season for 358 yards and 6 touchdowns. He is their leading rusher, but again, he's averaging under 3 yards a carry. This is a team that really struggles to run the football, just 84.3 yards a game for the Cougars, and that is bad news for them because, as I mentioned earlier, Berwick allowing just 22.8 yards a game rushing to the opposition. At a flanker spot, a talented 9th grader, Matt Casadas. He's 5'11", 155 pounds, 17 receptions on the season for 228 yards and 2 touchdowns. That is the starting lineup offensively for the Cougars of Hazleton area under Mike Brennan in his 6th season as the head coach at Hazleton area. They come in with a record of 1-5. For the Bulldogs, at the tight end, number 9, Blaine Cleaver. He is 6'3", 219 pounds, a junior. Caught a touchdown pass last Friday at Valley View. On the season, 10 catches, 115 yards, and 1 touchdown. We'll also see Dallas Schechterly, number 36, a 5'11", 205-pound senior. 3 receptions, all of them for touchdowns, 66 yards in receiving for Dallas Schechterly. The left tackle is number 60, Sully Slabinski, 6'1", 215, a senior. At the left guard, number 52, Aaron Cashman, 5'10", 248 pounds, a senior. Nick Heimbaugh starts at center for the Dogs. He's 5'11", 215 pounds, a senior. Noah Craig starts at right guard, number 79, 5'11", 257, a senior. And the right tackle, also a senior, number 55, Mike Zalutko, 6'1", 235 pounds. The leading receiver for the Bulldogs is Tegan Wilk, the 5'11", 186-pound senior, obviously a terrific safety on defense. He has caught 15 passes for 221 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also see Sean Shepdock, a 6'2", 202-pound junior at that wide receiver position. The quarterback is number 10, Ryan Longbaugh. He is 6 foot, 184, a senior, completing 56% of his passes on the season for 729 yards, 8 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. He is also a very effective runner. 50 carries, 236 yards, and 3 touchdowns, averaging 4.7 yards a carry. The leading rusher for the Dogs is number 16, Aiden Mason, a talented sophomore at 5'10", 212 pounds, 63 carries on the season for 471 yards and 3 touchdowns. He is 7th in the Wyoming Valley Conference in rushing, and he's averaging 7.4 yards a carry. At the fullback spot, number 42, Eric Montez, 6'1", 235-pound senior, 9 carries on the season for 35 yards and a couple of touchdowns. He's also caught 3 passes for 45 yards. That is the starting lineup for the Bulldogs under Carmen DiFrancesco in his first season as head coach here at Berwick, his 23rd overall. His Bulldogs come in 5-1. He has 157 career wins to just 98 losses. So it's the Bulldogs against the Cougars of Hazleton area. The keys to tonight's game, Andy Lick.
Well, keys are tough in this one, Jim. Talent, looking at their records and comparable scores, it should be one-sided in favor of Berwick. But I think the key for Berwick is overcoming, that tough loss. It's got to become a bounce-back game, and they got to bounce back strong. They started that game looking so dominant, and then all of a sudden in the second half they became overwhelmed. It was a thing of momentum, and they couldn't stop the momentum. And while momentum could, take you through a game and suffer a loss, momentum can continue through a season if you don't overcome that loss. So I think for Berwick, we want to watch in the first quarter how they do react. Are they, taking their anger out on Hazleton? And that would be a very good thing to see. And then let it continue into a successful win, into a series of wins on through Dallas, and back on into the playoffs. Because momentum is what they need to get back. They have that wonderful winning momentum, but when you suffer a devastating defeat, one that just breaks your heart, you need to overcome that. For Hazleton, the key, well, how composed does a freshman, 140-pound, first-time starting quarterback play? You don't put all the pressure on him, but he's got to be able to step up and do the job, and Mike Brennan has a lot of faith. He really likes this kid's talent, his mental view of the game. He likes the way that, everything that he sees from Tyler Wolf, and he doesn't want him to have to go, but Tyler Wolf's got to be ready for this one because of injury. I think they'll probably work in Matt Fisher, who had quarterbacked in the past. But the problem is, if you take Matt Fisher away from that receiving slot, you lose your best offensive weapon. He's 8th in the league with 18 receptions, 6th in the league with 273 yards in receiving. So you'd like him out there. You put him under quarterback, and who do you throw to? So Hazleton's up against it. We're going to see how they do react. We'll see how Tyler Wolf does play. And, I'm rooting for him to have a nice, solid game. But I think Berwick really wants that bounce-back game, wants to come. They'll come with pressure, and well, we'll see how well the young man handles it.
Yeah, the best friend a quarterback can have, especially one just starting as a ninth grader, his first start of his career, is a good rushing attack, but they don't have that. They don't have it coming in, and you don't get better running the football against Berwick.
No, they average 84.3 yards a game. That's 13th out of 16 teams in the league. And Berwick, with its rushing defense, well, they've ballooned up to allowing 23 yards a game. Still first in the league in that department, despite the loss at Valley View. So, no, it's hard to get that run going. You might try it by surprise. You might draw some draws, some counters, but it's very, very hard to run against Berwick's front seven, front eight. They come at you very aggressively.
Getting back to that Valley View loss for Berwick, they did such a tremendous job defensively on Janasa Boone's running. Here's a guy that averages almost 10 yards a carry from the quarterback position, 33 yards on 15 carries. If you know you're going to get that going in, you think, we win the game.
We win the game is what you do think. And at halftime, it was a total dominance where he had no yardage running and a lot of attempts. But they game planned well. They made the adjustments in the second half. They added a second tight end. It spread things out just a little bit. They used his mobility out of the pocket to make some things happen in the passing game. And, you know, tip your hat to Valley View. The game plan worked effectively, got them second half momentum, and they took it from there.
Berwick against Hazleton area. We'll be back with the kickoff. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Prices are falling on all our vehicles during the fall sell-off event happening right now at Fairfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. It's Ram Power Days, so let's talk Ram trucks. We have over 100 of them on site ready for you to drive home. And you can get 0% for 60 months plus no payments for 90 days on select 2019 Rams or lease one for just $159. Jeeps? You won't find a better selection anywhere else. Lease a 2019 Grand Cherokee Laredo or a 2019 Cherokee Limited for just $199. So don't shop the rest. Shop the best. Come see the Kaiser Boys and experience for yourself the best selection, the best prices, and the best service and parts around. Fairfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Route 405 in Muncie or Route 11 in Danville. Fairfield for the best deals.
Leases are for 24, 36, and 42 months. $34.99 due at signing. Offers on select vehicles only for qualified buyers. Only must finance through Chrysler Capital. Offers end October 31st. See dealer for complete details.
Fairfield, you're gonna love us. Are you looking to meet an elder care need? Do you or a loved one need assistance with any of the instrumental or basic activities of daily living? Brookdale Senior Living has a solution. Brookdale Bloomsburg, located at 420 Schaefer Road, is a premium personal care home offering a family atmosphere along with round-the-clock nursing care. Call 570-387-6868 to learn more. Better yet, we invite you to drop in and meet the Brookdale family and learn how we can offer an optimum aging experience for you or a loved one.
Choose with confidence. The Medicine Shop.
At the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located at the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, caring goes beyond the prescriptions. Discover the one-on-one customer service and dedication that makes caring part of the culture at the Medicine Shop in Berwick. Stock up on everything you need to keep you and your family healthy all year long. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located on the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, where caring goes beyond the prescriptions.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
On a 55-degree night here at Creston Field, getting ready for this matchup between Hazleton area and Berwick. I mentioned earlier the 26th meeting between these two schools since the jointure of Hazleton High School and West Hazleton and Freeland. Berwick enjoys a big advantage, 20-5. In fact, the Bulldogs have won 9 straight in this series, but last year it was a real struggle at Harmon Guy Stadium. In fact, Berwick trailed 14-0 at the break and came back and won it 28-21. The last Hazleton area win in the series was 28-6. That was back at Harmon Guy Stadium in 2009. With that loss to Valley View last week, Berwick has fallen to 3rd place in the standings, District 2 Quad A. Those 8 teams will go in when the regular season ends. And it is still a 3-way battle because Dallas very much involved. In fact, Dallas is in first this week in the power rankings. And Dallas has to play Berwick. Dallas next week will play Valley View. So kind of a round-robin series to determine who are going to be the top seeds. Obviously, the number 1 seed is the really coveted spot because there's the possibility of 3 straight home games if you are the top seed. The top 4 teams will get a home field advantage for the start of the playoffs. Berwick, of course, would like to enjoy that, but there's still a lot of football to be played, and I don't pretend to know how things would turn out if Berwick were to beat Dallas and Dallas were to beat Valley View. But right now, that's the optimal situation for the Bulldogs. Tonight, Valley View is playing a Western Wayne team that's having a pretty good season.
Yes.
Dallas should have no trouble with Nanticoke. Of course, Berwick can't overlook next week's game with Crestwood on the road. Crestwood has a brand-new head coach in Ryan Arcangeli, and they have a 4-2 record going into their home game tonight. They're going against a Tunkhannock team that's much improved. They're also at 4-2. The Bulldogs have some challenges ahead. And you can look back at that Valley View game and find 10 different places and say, what if? But the fact is, it was a terrific high school football game. Berwick came up just short, but the Bulldogs would certainly want another crack. And, Andy, I sent an email to Valley View coach George Juanis, thanking him for his help with our broadcast and saying, I hope we'll see you again. He says, I don't want to see you guys again. And I hope he wasn't talking about you and me.
Oh, we're nice fellas. And I'll tell you, he is a gentleman, too. He's treated us very, very well. You know, an interesting facet of this game, Jim, I think, is the coaches who are going against each other. They've never met on this field. But Mike Brennan has coached against Carmen DiFrancesco 7 times as head coaches. Mike Brennan, for 7 years at Mount Carmel, went against Carmen DiFrancesco Shamokin teams. And Carm hates to admit it, but, the Shamokin teams just didn't have it against the strong Mount Carmel teams that Mike had then. He was 0-7. And then Mike leaves. Bobby Chesney comes in for a year at Mount Carmel, and the next year, Carmen DiFrancesco's coaching the Mount Carmel squad, so a lot of the same players coached by the same people. So nice connections, a great friendship. How could you not be good friends with Carmen DiFrancesco or Mike Brennan, two truly wonderful gentlemen among the coaches that we do get to see, but an interesting history that they have.
Bulldogs making their way on this, the near side of the field, as you can tell, as they're wearing their blue jerseys tonight, white helmets, white numerals, white pants, and trim. And across the way, coming out of the field house to our left, the Cougars of Hazleton area, white jerseys, white pants, red numerals, and trim.
Must mention, Jim, the fact a lot of pink trim out there as we're in October with Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So we do see a lot of the pink here and there among the players, on the cheerleaders, on many of the people in the stands.
Let me go through the officiating crew because we want to give a shout-out to one particular member of that crew. The referee tonight is Jay Rowan. Steve Jinsky is the umpire. The linesman is Bill Downey. This, according to Bill, is his 49th and last year as a high school official. He's got 3 more games to go. With 49 years doing this, that's a real tribute to him. He is the linesman tonight. The line judge is Jim Trusky. The field judge is Jim Darr. And Galen Miller is the side judge.
Nice crew. I've gotten to know Bill Downey over the years. They have a lot of these officials. I stop by, visit them, get their names, say hello, talk about who all the Irishmen are, and Bill Downey, one of those famous Irish officials that we do see. I try to guess their ethnicity by their names from the genealogy I do, and I say, those names like Downey are just a little too easy.
I know you get paid to be a high school official, but you don't get rich doing it.
No.
And if you're in it for 49 years, you're in it for the right reason.
You're in it because you love it. You want to do it. You want to be the arbiter of 2, well-coached teams playing with good sportsmanship, and that's very meaningful. A wonderful career and a tip of the hat to Bill Downey.
In our fall weather tonight for the first time, October the 4th, you would think it would be about time. And speaking of weather, and I don't want to jinx it the rest of the way, but this has just been a tremendous season for weather. There's not been a hint of inclement weather on a Friday night.
I joked with my wife. I watch the weather reports, and every Friday and Saturday is clear. Somewhere midway on Sunday, some showers start, and then Mondays it rains for about 6 or 7 weeks. So no. In fact, if anything, I wish we were up on the roof, Jim. I'm rather warm in this heated press box. We'll see if we can get it to cool down a little bit later. I'm sure the fans aren't feeling that. A little bit chilly, but not uncomfortable for them.
Mother Nature has been a football fan so far in this 2019 season. Captains meeting at the center of the field. Hazleton area won the toss, deferred to the second half. So we will see Berwick with the football first. And we saw Berwick with some new looks last week at Valley View, some things we hadn't seen to that point. They didn't leave anything out.
No, and what surprised me most was a little bit of an emphasis on the option game. It got sort of that slanting running back going with the quarterback and often with the pitch option. Yes, it was a totally different look for Berwick with that down-the-line veer.
The Bulldogs against the Cougars. We'll kick it off from Crispin Field. When we return, you're listening to Berwick Football on Sports Radio HLM.
SUV season is here at Kent Pollock Ford. Get back to school with plenty of cargo room and enough seating to haul all your family and friends. Don't worry about being a teacher's pet. You get to grade with $5,500 back on every 2019 Ford SUV going on now at Kent Pollock Ford. Need a little more pickup at your tailgate? Get up to $12,900 in savings off MSRP or 0% financing on America's best-selling truck, the 2019 Ford F-150. Don't be late. Offers end soon. Stop in and shop Kent Pollock Ford, Berwick.
How does free and easy checking with no baggage sound? Well, there is a little baggage. The free rolling duffel bag you get when you sign up for free and easy checking with First Columbia Bank. Not only will you get a checking account with no monthly fees and free online and mobile banking, First Columbia will also buy back your unused checks and debit cards from your old bank. Plus, for a limited time, you will receive a free Travelers Club rolling duffel bag when you open a checking account or refer a friend to us. First Columbia Bank, with you every step of the way. Restrictions and data rates may apply.
Neighbor Fence Company has fencing for where you want it, serving Columbia, Montour, and Luzerne counties. Neighbor Fence provides top-quality residential and commercial fencing, vinyl, chain link, wood, aluminum, and ornamental fencing, plus vinyl railing and specialty products. Neighbor Fence Company, 1140 State Route 239 in Wapwallopen. Call 570-752-4423 or visit them online at neighborfencecompany.com. Neighbor Fence Company is a proud sponsor of local youth athletic teams.
At Traditional Home Healthcare, their beliefs make all the difference. You have the right to choose the highest level of healthcare in your own home, from pediatrics to seniors, as well as non-skilled home care services like meal prep, housekeeping, and companionship. They'll work with you every step of the way to create a care plan for your loved one, because Traditional is more than a home healthcare agency. They're your extended family when family can't be there. Visit traditionalhomehealthcare.com today.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
Berwick Choral Group, the Modernaires. The beautiful version of our national anthem prior to the Berwick Hazleton area football here at Crispin Field this evening. 26th meeting between these two schools on the artificial turf here, as Berwick will get the football to begin this game. The Bulldogs special teams let them down a bit in that loss at Valley View last Friday. Not so much on the return game or punting or place kicking, but covering kicks was a big issue. Alex Savkov of Valley View with 3 or 4 long returns that set them up in good position. And really trying to think back to this season prior to last Friday, Bulldogs had done a very good job of covering kicks and hadn't been hurt by it.
It hadn't been a problem. That's why it was so surprising. Now, the talent of Savkov probably was the difference maker. But we've been seeing nice deep kicks to about the 5-yard line throughout the season. Berwick coming down, staying in their lanes, not allowing seams to be created. But somehow Savkov managed to get outside, turn it upfield, and make very nice returns, giving Valley View good field position.
Speaking of returns, Alejandro Lopez had a terrific return for Berwick to start that second half, and he is one of 3 people deep He and Tegan Wilk and Blake Maurer. Berwick will be moving from our right to our left as we do things here in the opening half. Luke Russo, a sophomore, will kick it off for the Cougars of Hazleton area.
We had seen Antonio Barada back on occasion. He's not dressed for this game, suffering an injury.
Yeah, he's missed a couple. He's desperate to get back. Senior year, after all. This one is underway, and Russo kicks it very, very short along the turf. Picked up by one of the upmen at the 35-yard line. He'll get over the 40 and out to the 43-yard line. So Hazleton area decides not to give Berwick an attempt at a long return. So they kick it short, and Ben Moore returns for Berwick. So the Bulldogs will put it in play in good field position against the Hazleton area defense that lines up with Max Barrett and Bryce Reed at the ends, James Bugdeb, Kevin Molesky at the tackles, Richie Santos is the nose. The linebackers are Dante Mattarella and Ryan Matthews. And we'll check the secondary after this play.
Lopez starting at running back.
From the 43-yard line. Run to the outside. It's Tegan Wilk. Wilk down that sideline. 40, 35, 30. Tegan Wilk on the first play from scrimmage goes 57 yards for Berwick score.
Berwick comes right from the sideline, so you're not getting a chance to read the personnel. Wilk goes in Wildcat. He has a single digit. You think quarterback. Lopez got my attention as the back next to him, and it's basically a student body right. Gets a nice block where they run over the man who has contained, and then Tegan Wilk is off to the races for a big score.
What a start to this one for Berwick as Tegan Wilk gets his fourth rushing touchdown of the season. This one from 57 yards away, and now Brendan Hinkle's been very good at extra points. The sophomore kicks it up and kicks it through. Time out on the field. 16 seconds gone in this one. Berwick 7, Hazleton area nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Riverview Block of Berwick, with over 75 years of service, can handle all your block and concrete needs. They carry all sizes of concrete block, including decorative E.P. Henry landscaping block. Their concrete is PennDOT approved and delivered with front discharge trucks. Riverview Block also carries masonry supplies, tools, cement, sand, and stone. For prompt delivery, call Riverview Block, 570-752-7191. Riverview Block is proud to support the Berwick Bulldogs.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
What a start for Berwick. Their first play from scrimmage. Tegan Wilk out of the Wildcat. Off the right side, 57 yards for a touchdown. Brendan Hinkle with the extra points. A 7-0 Berwick advantage as Eric Montez gets set to kick off.
Clever strategy to come straight from the sideline to the line of scrimmage rather than making a change at quarterback where it's more noticeable into the Wildcat. You do it on first down and come straight from the sideline. It's not nearly as easy to read. They're going on a quick count, and before you know it, it's Tegan Wilk with the ball, running wide and using that speed.
Lance Johnson and Matt Casadas deep for Hazleton area. Montez's kick will go to Johnson, who lets it go through his wickets into the 5-yard line, down to the 1. He has to pick it up there, and he's belted down. They're going to rule it at the 1-yard line. After it went through his legs, he was hoping it would go to the end zone, and it came very, very close to going into the end zone, but it didn't. Finally had to pick it up, and he was clobbered at the 1.
How much more of a better start could Berwick expect? As you mentioned, difficult because of the bouncing football. He touched it, so he has to play it. Even if he doesn't touch it, it's still a free ball if it doesn't make the end zone. So he goes back hoping he can get the touchback. It never gets in there. He's hit at the 1 and knocked back into the goal, but they put the ball on the 1-yard line.
And what a tough place for a 9th grader starting at quarterback for the first time. Kyle Wolf. He gives it to Molesky. Molesky straight ahead will get about a yard to the 2-yard line. 2nd and 9. Berwick defensively lining up with Eric Montez and Mason Lawbaugh at the ends. Ethan Hughes and Sully Slabinski at the tackles. Linebackers Mike Salutko and Dallas Schechterly. The weak safety Ryan Lawbaugh. Strong safety Blaine Cleaver. The corners Sean Sheptock and Preston Robbins. And the free safety is Tegan Wilk.
Not an easy place for head coach Mike Brennan to call offensive plays. If you had your full-strength team and a veteran quarterback, you hate this field position, but boy, with the first-time freshman in there, he's in shotgun.
But are they going to snap it to him? They do, and he rolls right in the end zone. He fires the pass, and he's got a completion out to the 5-yard line. No, incomplete. The ball popped out when the receiver hit the deck.
I thought it was number 3, but I think it was Matt Casitas, the brother.
Matt Fisher was the intended receiver, couldn't hang on. So now it's a 3rd down and 10 for Hazleton area at their own 1-yard line.
Shotgun and a running back to block for him, and Molesky's a good-sized blocker. They rolled him to the right to avoid the pass rush, and he had the ball on target. Would have been about a 5-yard gain, and it would have given them a little bit more breathing room.
3rd and 10, Cougars from their own 1. The freshman quarterback is under center, and he's back in the end zone to throw, and he fires over the middle. It's tipped and incomplete, intended for the tight end, Torstrup, and Sean Sheptock got a hand in it, knocked it down. So 4th and 10, Hazleton area will be punting from deep in their own territory.
You like 14 to 15 yards to punt with the ball on the half-yard line, though. That's going to be cut down to about 10 yards. So if Berwick comes hard, not the normal distance, punter has to watch he doesn't step back.
Matt Fisher snap to Luke Russo, a low-line drive kick. Field on the hop by Blake Bauer at the 34, to the 30, 25, 20, and forced out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. So Berwick already with a 7-0 lead takes over great field position with 10:30 to go in the opening quarter.
It's hard for the punter. He has to just hurry it and get it out of there, and you have to maintain your block so that no one sips on through, so you're not going to get great coverage. He tried to get a roll on it. He did get the roll, but Blake Maurer throws the arm out, was able to bounce it up in the air to himself and find some room down the near sideline.
17-yard line of Hazleton area. That is the starting point for the Bulldogs. Again, they go out of the Wildcat with Tegan Wilk to call the signals. And Alejandro Lopez, the running back, to his right from the 17. Wilk takes the snap, rolls to his right, trying to get outside, turns the corner, and gets inside the 10 down around the 5-yard line.
Yeah, it gets down there till Seth Hunsinger is able to throw him out of bounds. But Blaine Cleaver at tight end gave him the corner. Lopez leading the way. He made a very nice run on that.
12 yards on the carry. 1st and 10 for Berwick. 1st and goal, I should say, at the Cougar 5-yard line. Now Ryan Lawbaugh in at the quarterback spot. He is in the gun with Lopez to his right and a slot to the left from the 5-yard line. Lawbaugh has the snap, gives to Lopez. Alejandro is stood up right about the line of scrimmage. Good defensive work by the interior of that Hazleton area line.
James Bugden eventually grabbing and pulling back while 3 or 4 other white jerseys of the Hazleton Cougars push him. And he still was able to squirm maybe the length of a football forward.
2nd down and goal. Berwick at the 5. Bulldogs with the early 7-0 lead. Still 9:56 to go in this opening quarter. Slot to the left side. Sean Sheptock wide to the right. Lawbaugh out of the gun. Again, Lopez, the lone running back, to his right. Lawbaugh gives the ball to Lopez, tries to get outside left, does so, and gets into the end zone for Berwick touchdown. Alejandro Lopez, 5 yards for the score.
Very nice run. Simple handoff from the quarterback, taking the shotgun snap. Sweep was evident as he goes horizontal, the line of scrimmage. Sees a seam as he works his way outside the tackle, angles it in, and carries a potential tackler with him.
So a great start for the Bulldogs here tonight as Brendan Hinkle will attempt the extra point out of the hold of Tegan Wilk. Jake Lanning does the snapping for the Bulldogs. Snap, and it's bobbled by Wilk. He keeps the football, loses the football, and the play will be blown dead. So Berwick doesn't get an attempt at the extra point. Time on the field, 9:35 to go, opening quarter. Berwick 13, Hazleton area nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
S.J. Kowalski Heating and Air Conditioning sells comfort. Since 1972, S.J. Kowalski understands the importance of doing business locally. They service what they sell and take pride in customer satisfaction. S.J. Kowalski is a trained comfort specialist, a Lennox dealer, and they are Northeastern Pennsylvania's premier dealer of Mitsubishi ductless mini-split systems. S.J. Kowalski also sells and installs energy-efficient Renai water heaters and geothermal systems. Call 1-888-KOWALSKI and ask about special promotions and zero-interest financing.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
Quick start for the Bulldogs here tonight. A 13-0 lead. Still 9:35 to go in the opening quarter. Last score, a 5-yard touchdown run by senior running back Alejandro Pena. Alejandro Lopez, his second rushing touchdown of the season. It was set up on the punt return by Blake Maurer. And bobbled snap by Tegan Wilk. It's a 13-0 Berwick advantage as Eric Montez will kick it off. His kick very, very high, and Johnson back at the 2-yard line, to the 5, to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, to the 25, to the 30, to the 35-yard line. Nice return by Lance Johnson.
Yep, Drayton Will coming up to make the saving tackle. He got up the middle and did a wonderful job running with that.
So Hazleton area will get it for the second time, but for the first time with any kind of field position, first time they had it was back at their 1-yard line. Cougars moving from our left to a right. Well, you come in with a young team with 5 freshman starters, and you're hoping that the game will start well to give them a little feel for things. Just the exact opposite for Hazleton area.
Yeah, and you can't blame the freshman starters for any of the setbacks. You know, Berwick's been sharp with their offense, and Hazleton needs to get it going here if they want to have any hopes.
Kyle Wolf, the 9th grader, out of the gun. Gives the ball off to Casadas, coming around from the wing, and Casadas will not get to the line of scrimmage. He's brought down back at the 33-yard line. This is the Berwick defense that has just been so good against the run. Eric Montez in on the play. Montez has had a terrific season, number 2 on the team in tackles. That's his 14th tackle for a loss in the season.
And Bladen Cleaver and Tegan Wilk also part of that. Eric Montez holds the corner, doesn't let it get wide, and then the other 2 sifting in, all 3 on the tackle.
Second down for the Cougars from their own 34. Casadas wide to the right. Fisher wide left. Wolf under center. Play action. Back to throw. Big pass rush. Sets up a screen to the far side. It's knocked down by guess who? Eric Montez. And boy, if he doesn't make that play, Hazleton area might have something going on that side. It was set up pretty well, but Montez was the one player that read it.
Screen pass is the call. They're going to roll the quarterback away. He's going to go to the right. Bladen Cleaver put a rush on him, but he's able to turn left and fling it, but can't get it over the outstretched hands of Eric Montez, who is near the intended receiver, over by the numerals in the Hazleton bench.
Third down and 10. Cougars at their own 34-yard line. Fisher wide right. Casadas in the slot to that side. Wide receiver to the left as well. As Wolf gives on a draw play to Johnson, he'll lose yardage back to the 32-yard line.
A little bit of a delay. However, not enough of a draw for people to run by him. Berwick sensed that they were going to give it on the delay to Johnson. They brought him down.
Ryan Lawbaugh, the main tackler, for a loss of 2 back to the 32-yard line. 4th and 12. Luke Russo and the punt team on for the Cougars.
Got an end-over-end one when he only had 10 yards. He has his full 15 yards this time.
High snap. Bobbles it. Scramble is on. Berwick's going to get the football at the 16-yard line. So a high snap bobbled by Russo. And then Lawbaugh comes in and recovers for Berwick. It's going to be Bulldogs football anyhow. And they will take over at the Hazleton area 16-yard line.
Ryan Lawbaugh normally gets his name mentioned for his quarterbacking, but he also puts good pressure on punters. That time with the snap going high, and he bobbles it once and has to try to turn around and get it. Ryan Laubaugh does not allow him any time as he's diving off that football before the punter can recover.
8:02 remaining in this opening quarter. Berwick in a great position to add to what is a 13-0 lead, as Aiden Mason is the running back now to the left of Ryan Laubaugh, who operates out of the gun and looks to throw and fires to the end zone to Tegan Wilk, who makes the grab and gets out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Fans wanted the touchdown, but he was sort of running that fade, had to look straight back, almost a Willie Mays type of catch with his back to the ball, able to locate, zero in, bring it in, and just before he gets to the pylon, stepping out of bounds.
15 yards on the completion of Tegan Wilk. Berwick 1 yard away from adding to a 13-0 lead here in the opening quarter. Blaine Cleaver, tight end to the right. Eric Montez is in as a blocking back to that side. Quarterback keeper by Ryan Laubaugh, straight ahead for the touchdown. Laubaugh on the 1-yard keeper. Berwick builds the lead.
His fourth rushing touchdown of the season. He'd rather have had the passing touchdown, I'm sure. Go back to that play from about 16 yards out where they sort of do a wheel route with Tegan Wilk down the left side. Fading as he's nearing the pylon, the ball coming right directly over his head. Great concentration to pull it in. Out at the 1-yard line, and they'll push it in from there.
Sophomore Brendan Hinkle will attempt the extra point. Snap, placement, kick is up, and the kick is good. Time on the field. 7:51 to go, opening quarter. Berwick 20, Hazleton area nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLN.
Yannick Real Estate is your full-service real estate agency. Buying, selling, residential, commercial, multifamily, land, and rental management. Call Yannick Real Estate. Owner Mike Yannick, a veteran himself, served his country and has been serving this area for decades. Mike and his staff will guide you through the real estate process. Veterans, be sure to check the VA loan options. Yannick Real Estate, your full-service real estate agency. 1232 West Front Street in Berwick. Call 759-3300.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
This one could not have started better for Berwick, could not have started worse for Hazleton area. Still 7:51 to go in the opening quarter. Berwick, 3 possessions, 3 scores. They lead the Cougars by a score of 20-0.
One-sided so far. Eric Montez waiting for the football to be presented to him. He'll be kicking from the left hash. That's the Berwick norm. He'll have 4 people to his left, the other 6 to his right, but they're cheated in from the sideline all the way to the numeral. Sort of directional kicking. He can kick it straight ahead or a little bit to the left, and Berwick can kind of collapse that far side, still keeping their lanes.
Lance Johnson, Matt Casadas deep for the Cougars. Here's the kick by Montez. Diving attempt by Johnson, who's had his problems, and he goes down on one knee, and as a result, the Cougars will be backed up inside their 20-yard line.
Well, they watched one that bounced between his legs, and this was a tough short hop, so he kind of slides on into it, kicks up some black pellets, but as he gains possession of the football, he is downed himself. Again, Berwick not needing to make the tackle, in wonderful field position for the Berwick defense.
17-yard line for the Cougars, who trail Berwick by a score of 20-0. They'll send Matt Fisher wide to the right. Matt Casadas in a slot to that side. Toss, sweep, give on the reverse to Casadas, trying to get outside left, and he gets some yardage out to the 21-yard line.
Eric Montez stayed home on the reverse, played his contain, able to run that down. Also coming up nicely to help was Preston Robbins from his cornerback position on that backside.
And we know how physical Eric Montez is, but he's also very, very smart.
It is. A lot of people get sucked in. They want to chase that play down. But when your responsibility is to stay on the backside and watch for reverse, that's your job. You're not going to make the play if it's sweeping the opposite side, but the reverse can burn you for the touchdown.
Freshman quarterback Kyle Wolf under center. Back to throw off play action. Big pass rush, gets the pass away. Incomplete, flag down on the play. They're going to call Blaine Cleaver for being over-aggressive on the intended receiver, Kevin Molesky.
Molesky coming out from his fullback spot, tried to do a little banana. Blaine Cleaver all over him, and unfortunately for the flag, literally all over him. He wasn't fooled by the play. In fact, had he been fooled a little bit more, he would have been off that receiver a little bit more and still could have made the defensive play.
So the Cougars will get their first down of the game. It comes via the penalty. 15-yarder out to the 36-yard line. Ryan Wolf, the freshman, after every play, goes to the sideline to confer with head coach Mike Brennan.
He's been solid for his team so far at that quarterback position.
And the Cougars will use a timeout. 6:57 to go, opening quarter, 20-0 Bulldogs. You're listening to Berwick Football on Sports Radio HLM.
It's Alexander Family Buick GMC's end of summer clearance sale. Great summer sales have left us overstocked with the highest quality pre-owned vehicles. One owner, local trades, off-lease cars and trucks, all reduced to sell. Get a 2017 Chevy Traverse for only $19,988 and an 18 Nissan Maxima, only $18,988, or a 17 Chevy Cruze, now only $13,988. Check us out online or stop and shop in Bloomsburg for the lowest price guaranteed. Alexander Family Buick GMC. We're taking deals the other guys won't.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
Jim Doyle and Andy Lickney from Crescent Field in Berwick. 6:57 to go in the opening quarter. A quarter that's been dominated by the Bulldogs of Berwick. They lead Hazleton area by a score of 20-0. Cougars with the ball following their timeout. They just before that timeout got their first down. It came via the penalty. They have it at their own 36-yard line.
Looks like they shifted the ball over to the left hash. I thought we were over here on the near side on the right.
High formation behind the freshman quarterback. First start of his career. Kyle Wolf. Tailback comes in motion to the right. Molesky remains the lone running back. Fake to him. Wolf back to throw. Big pass rush. Rolls right. Keeps it and is sacked. Back at the 32-yard line.
Ethan Hughes was able to beat his man, the guard on his side here on the near side. And that forced the quarterback to roll right. There was penetration there. He had to try to step up and minimize the loss, and he did as well as anyone could expect with the fierce Berwick pass rush coming down on him.
12th sack of the season for the Bulldogs defense, which has been terrific this season. In fact, in total yardage allowed, number one in the Wyoming Valley Conference, number one against the rush as well. And only Dallas has given up less points than the Bulldogs. Here's the second and long. Wolf this time out of the gun. Looks long down the far side. A battle for the football, and it's picked off by Tegan Wilk. Wilk the other way, the 40, the 35, and forced out of bounds near the 30-yard line. Preston Robbins, good coverage. He might have gotten a hand on it. Then it went to Wilk for the interception as Tegan Wilk adds to his school record.
Played it as a true free safety. Read the quarterback. Saw he was throwing to the far sideline, so he cheated on over. Preston Robbins had very good coverage on the receiver deep inside position. But as Wilk comes over, he jumps and gets his hand in front of both of the people down there. One-handed interception as he comes down with the ball. Never puts the left hand on it, cradles it, and goes down the right sideline with about a 25, 30-yard return.
For Tegan Wilk, his third interception of the season, his 17th at Berwick, just adding to his school record. And flag down on the play before Berwick could get going, illegal procedure.
It'll move them back 5 yards. They haven't run that many plays. We've seen Tegan Wilk in the Wildcat. Alejandro Lopez with a couple of carries. One pass to Tegan Wilk, and basically that's it. 5 snaps.
6:01 remaining in the opening quarter. Berwick with a 20-0 lead in the Bulldogs. First and 15 from the Hazleton area, 36-yard line. Lob off, out of the gun. Gives to Aiden Mason. Tries the right side. Mason ahead then. Makes a nice cut. Gets to the 30-yard line. He'll pick up about 6 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 9.
I really liked his cut. He took it from the left of the shotgun and ran horizontally to the line of scrimmage. When he saw the seam, he just broke, boom, north-south, and that got him the 6 yards with a good commitment. Plant and commit upfield.
Dallas Schechterly, the tight end on the right side. Blaine Cleaver to the left. 2nd and 9. Mason goes in motion to the right. Lawball's going to throw it to Sean Sheptock on the left. Sheptock gets by one man and another and weaves his way down to the 24-yard line. He'll pick up about 6 on the play.
Kevin Molesky eventually wrapping him up. Timing a little bit quick. I think they would have liked if delayed Sheptock just a half a second longer or hold the pass just a half a second longer. He got up into his blockers a little bit too fast. As it is, though, a nice 7-yard gain.
3rd down and 3. Berwick at the Hazleton area 24-yard line. Slot to the right. Ryan Lawball out of the gun. Has the snap. Fakes to Aiden Mason. Keeps the football straight ahead, and he'll come close to the first down, but a little bit short. Andy, getting back to that pass by Sean Sheptock, that's something that I'm sure we're going to see more of from Berwick. They have to take advantage of his speed.
His speed, his toughness, his height. You know, you can throw that ball anywhere, and he has that arm span where he can go in a big arc and make the catch. You like to see him go deep, but you'll certainly try the short pass and hope that he can just break it past people. I agree.
4th and 1 for Berwick. The blocking backs, Schechterly and Montez, are lined up behind the line to the right. Mason deep in the backfield, gets the handoff, hit hard. I don't think he got there. Boy, that's a terrific defensive play by Seth Hunsinger, and Hazleton area gets their first big play of this game. They'll take over the football.
You know, you have 3 people to the right of center. Guard, right tackle, right tight end. You have 2 blocking backs. And the main man at the point of attack is able to sift through. That should not happen. But give credit to Seth Hunsinger, as you said, Jim. Aiden Mason is tough to bring down with the head of steam, and he was able to do that and keep him from getting to the chains. Powerful defensive impact play by Seth Hunsinger of Hazleton.
He is a 5'10", 200-pound junior as the Cougars take over at their own 24-yard line with 4:04 to go in the opening quarter, and Berwick leading this one by a score of 20-0. Direct snap, and the running back is going to be clobbered for a loss back at the 20-yard line.
Lance Johnson in there as the Wildcat, Jim. He struggled in some other plays, and here he's going to end up losing 2.5 to 3 yards when he goes Wildcat and takes the snap.
Interesting to see Alejandro Lopez on the defensive line for Berwick. They do have a lineup where they go with the quick people up front. He's as quick as they come.
Oh, yeah.
As Hazleton area faces a 2nd and 14 at their own 20.
Looks like he wants to line up directly over the football as a nose guard. Now he's at right tackle.
Snap and rolling right is Matt Fisher in the quarterback now, and he overthrows the intended receiver. So Matt Fisher, who was projected to be the starting quarterback for this team this season, they decided he was needed more at wide receiver. They liked what they got out of Kellen Warren, a junior quarterback. Warren, though, injured, not in this game. We expected to see a little bit of Matt Fisher. We saw him there. The pass went incomplete. It's 3rd down and 14 for the Cougars back at their 20.
I was rather impressed by what I saw of Tyler Wolf, the freshman, but I think you want to mix it up and see what you can get. Perhaps the personnel changes can confuse Berwick.
And Tyler Wolf is back in there for this play, which will come following a timeout. 3:16 to go in the quarter. 20-0 Berwick. You're listening The Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Tri-County Business Machines, 117 East Broad Street in Hazleton, is where you'll find Kyocera and CopyStar copy machines, service, and supplies. Think Tri-County Business Machines for office supplies and furniture, along with printers, fax machines, scanners, and even cash registers. Check out Tri-County's Copy Center for copying, scanning, and printing. Tri-County Business Machines, 117 East Broad Street in Hazleton. Call them 570-459-0754. Tri-County Business Machines, family owned since 1969.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
3:16 remaining in the opening quarter here at Crispin Field. 20-0 is the Berwick lead over Hazleton area. The Cougars pulling out all stops. Their first down play was a direct snap to Lance Johnson. Their second down play was Matt Fisher inserted at quarterback. And then I think they're going to go with the ninth grader now, who's got to be saying to Mike Brennan, 3rd and 14, now it's my turn.
Give me the ball, Coach. I'm ready. Why not?
And it is Ryan Wolf who will operate out of the gun with Lance Johnson to his right. Casadas in motion, right to left. Wolf back to throw. Dumps a pass out here, and it's incomplete. And it was not going anywhere, even if Johnson got it, because Blaine Cleaver was all over that play, and the punt team will come on for the Cougars.
Blaine Cleaver saw it, a couple other Berwick people filtering over into that area. So, no, good read by Berwick's defense, alert to what they're seeing. That'll set up this punt return situation for them.
Blake Maurer, Tegan Wilk deep, anticipating the punt from Luke Russo.
Struggled with the snap last time, sailed a little high, and he couldn't field it.
This is a good snap, and the kick is away. And away Blake Maurer right at midfield. Turns, looks to Wilk, and then goes straight ahead and is buried. I don't know if they had a possible reverse there or not, but he did turn back toward Tegan Wilk, decided to keep it. 2-yard return. Berwick will take over at the Hazleton area 48 with 3 minutes to go in the opening quarter, and the Bulldogs leading 20-0.
Bryce Torstrup coming in and making the tackle. Ryan Lawbaugh with a strong rush is very slow getting up. Limping off the field, but into the Berwick huddle on the sideline. Should be able to play.
So the Bulldogs, in 4 possessions in this opening quarter, have had it in Hazleton territory for 3 of them. After the opening kickoff, they took over at their 43 and scored on one play, that 57-yard run by Tegan Wilk from the 48-yard line. A bad snap, but a flag whistles it dead before the play. Illegal procedure against the Bulldogs. Be 1st and 15. Big Sean Powell has come in at right tackle for Berwick, a senior, 6'5", 285 pounds, giving Mike Salutko a breather. And now Berwick will use a timeout. 2:59 to go in the first. 20-0 Bulldogs. You're listening to Berwick Football on Sports Radio HLM.
Are you looking to meet an elder care need? Do you or a loved one need assistance with any of the instrumental or basic activities of daily living? Brookdale Senior Living has a solution. Brookdale Bloomsburg, located at 420 Schaefer Road, is a premium personal care home offering a family atmosphere along with round-the-clock nursing care. Call 570-387-6868 to learn more. Better yet, we invite you to drop in and meet the Brookdale family and learn how we can offer an optimum aging experience for you or a loved one.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
2:59 remaining in the opening quarter here at Crispin Field. Week number 7 of the high school football season. Berwick trying to bounce back from their first loss of the season. And so far, so good for the Dogs, who lead it 20-0. Following their timeout, they have it at their own 47-yard line. They are moving from our right to our left.
1st and 15, little loss of focus on that procedure penalty. Snap came at one point, people moving at another. They got to make up the penalty.
I formation. Montez is the fullback ahead of Lopez in the I. Quick out to Tegan Wilk, and it's a bad pass by Lawbaugh. Hits the turf and goes incomplete.
Yeah, two sloppy-looking plays in a row. A snap that doesn't count as Berwick's been moving. And now a quick snap to the quarterback who heaves it sideways, but pretty much bouncing it out there to Tegan Wilk, who, had he caught it, would have downed himself.
Wilk wide left, Sheptock wide right. Again, the I formation. Lopez at the tail of the tandem gets the call. Lopez hit from behind. Seth Hunsinger again with good play and little or no gain. In fact, they have lost a yard on the play.
Seth Hunsinger, a key player on this defense, second on the team in tackles, and he's doing it while he's up inside, not as a linebacker. 3 sacks on the season. That play is getting behind it, pulling back at the runner.
3rd and 16 for Berwick. Sheptock wide right. Blaine Cleaver's in a slot to that side. There's also a slot to the left. Wilk out of the Wildcat, rolls right, looking to throw, and he fires long downfield and throws it right into a Cougar's hands at the 40-yard line. The return to the 45. Brian Lawball makes the tackle at midfield as the ball went right straight to Matt Buckman, a freshman who makes the interception. And the Cougars will take over at midfield with 2:07 to go in the quarter, and Berwick leading 20-0.
We had mentioned 2 freshman quarterbacks starting for this team, Matt Casadas and Connor Shamani. Here another freshman in the secondary, waits for that ball to come down to him. Not a smart pass by Tegan Wilk, well short of the receiver who's 15 yards behind it and covered. The man underneath able to come up and make the play.
So the Cougars, with their best field position of this opening quarter, take over at midfield after the Buckman interception. Offset I behind the quarterback Kyle Wolf. Wolf gives to Molesky up the middle, and Kevin Molesky will get a couple to the Berwick 48, maybe the 47-yard line. Mason Lawball among the people in on the play.
Mike Salutko had such a rush that as they're meshing on the handoff, he has a hold of the quarterback and drives him back 5 yards after that. So they're having trouble managing these people up front for Berwick, who are getting a strong rush.
2nd down and 8. Hazleton area in Berwick territory for the first time at the Bulldog 48-yard line. Clock running, 1:30 remaining in this opening quarter. Evan Matthews wide to the right side, slot to the left. Casadas comes in motion to the right, and Wolf back to throw, and he fires into traffic, and it's incomplete. Dallas Schechterly back in coverage, the pass intended for Matt Fisher.
Blaine Cleaver staying with Fisher as he's slanting. Schechterly dropping into the hook zone. Both people in the area, but the quarterback pretty much on target toward the receiver, but the coverage just too good.
Peyton Williams comes in as Berwick will get an extra defensive back in on 3rd down and 8 for the Cougars at the Bulldog 48. Again, Wolf, the 9th grader, goes to the sideline after every play. Gets the play call from head coach Mike Brennan, and now he operates out of the shotgun. Takes the snap, gives it to Buckman. Buckman looking for room off the right side, is brought down right about the line of scrimmage. Mason Lawbaugh, Sean Sheptock, Eric Montez, all around for the swarming Berwick defense.
Buckman, we mentioned, just a freshman. That's his first carry of the year. So freshman quarterback, unexpected to play, not expected to play, hands to a freshman running back who was not expected to play.
Luke Russo back to do the punting, standing back at the 40. Matt Fisher does the long snapping. Good snap. Russo runs to his right, and rugby style gets the kick away, and it's fielded and forced out of bounds is Blake Maurer. Down around the 17, there is a illegal procedure coming up against Hazleton area.
I think Berwick may just take the football, let the offense do things. Christian Price did a real nice job in coverage. The punter Russo rugby-styled it by running to the right and then trying to get that end over end. Bit of a line drive, but right near the sideline where it's fielded, and Christian Price would not give the man any of the field to run.
Yeah, under normal circumstances, I think Berwick would make them kick again because this is not good field position. But I think Carmen DeFrancesco, with that 20-0 lead here late in the first, wants to see his offense put together a sustained attack. Most of the night's been short fields for the Bulldogs.
I would agree. I think they want to, look at pretty much standard offense going the length of the field. What can this unit do?
So the Bulldogs take over at their own 18-yard line, closing moments of this opening quarter. A quarter they've controlled to this point. Ryan Lawbaugh out of the gun, gives to Aiden Mason, tries the right side, nice spin move, and will get a couple to the 20-yard line.
James Bugda eventually coming up on him. But I like what I see. Again, it's a horizontal sweeping action in the backfield. And when he feels he has it, he's going to go north-south. That time he actually kind of put on the brakes, collided a little, and spun with an inside spin to get himself going north-south.
Second and 8 for the Bulldogs at the 20-yard line as the first quarter comes to an end. With the score, Berwick 20, Hazleton area nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs Football and Sports Radio HLM.
When you need the services of a professional law firm, you need the law offices of Lutz & Petty at 916 West Front Street in Berwick. Lutz & Petty is your hometown choice for elder law and asset protection, criminal law, estate planning, real estate, and personal injury. The full-service legal team of Lutz & Petty takes this opportunity to wish the Berwick Bulldogs a successful and injury-free season. Call them at 570-218-4888. The law offices of Lutz & Petty, protecting you. Go Dogs!
Berwick Bulldog football.
In HLM Sports tonight, in the second, Warrior Run leads Bloomsburg 21-7. In the second, Central Columbia and South Williamsport are tied at 7. And in the second, Southern Columbia leads Jersey Shore 35-0. For HLM Sports, I'm Raven Klein.
Berwick Bulldog football. HLM.
Noel Andy Lickey from Preston Field in Berwick. 1 quarter in the books in this 26th meeting between Hazleton area and Berwick. First quarter dominated by the Bulldogs. They lead by a score of 20-0. As we start the second quarter, they'll have the football at their own 20-yard line, moving from our left to our right, facing a second down and 8.
We haven't seen that much traditional offense, Jim. We've seen Tegan Wilk and Wildcat. We've seen Tegan Wilk passing the football. And we've seen some unique looks. I think we're going to go back to traditional football here for this drive.
High formation now. The call goes to Aiden Mason. Mason off the right side will get out to about the 25-yard line, bring up a third down and 3.
Bryce Reed meeting him there, but a nice angling action by the design of the play. Right setback going over the left guard, hitting it very hard, and approaches the chains about 3 yards short.
Bulldogs trying to improve to 6-1 on the season. They'll travel to Mountaintop next Friday to take on Crestwood. Comets at home against Tunkhannock tonight. Matchup of 4-2 teams. Aiden Mason the call, looking for the first down yardage. He is close.
I think the spot's going to give it to him, Jim. They're moving the chain well beyond the line to gain. And now they're going to move the chain. So, yes, he needed a good 3. He got a good 4 on that. Power running straight ahead over the left side of the line.
So the Bulldogs, 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line. Early here in the second quarter. As Sean Sheptock splits wide right, Blake Bauer, and then he slot to that side. Ryan Lawbaugh will operate out of the gun. Aiden Mason to his left. And Lawbaugh back to throw and fires and has Blake Maurer. And Maurer gets out to the 35-yard line on the first down play.
His 5th catch of the year. That'll go for about 5-6 yards. Working his way inside, finding a little hole in the seam of the defense in the linebacker area.
Second down and 4. Berwick at their own 35-yard line. Nick Heimbaugh, the center, over the football as Sean Sheptock splits wide to the left. Slot to the right. Tegan Wilk outside of Blake Maurer. Lawbaugh out of the gun, has the snap, and he's back to throw again, and he fires over the middle, a little too high for the intended target. The tight end, Blaine Cleaver, got a hand on it, but it would have been a real tough catch at the 40.
He's a tall receiver, tough to get above him, but he wanted to throw it high by design where no linebacker could jump and try for it. But it sails just a little bit too much.
Third down and 4. Berwick at their own 35-yard line. With that incompletion, clock stops 10:19 remaining in this second quarter. It's been all Berwick to this point. They lead Hazleton area by a score of 20-0. Sheptock wide left, slot to the right. Lawbaugh out of the gun. Here's the 3rd and 4. Has the snap, straight back to throw. Big pass rush, and he's going to be brought down at the 30-yard line. And Seth Hunsinger has been all over the field for the Cougars. Makes the play, and Hazleton area gets a stop, and Berwick will bring the punt team on.
His 4th sack of the season, you're right. Took a little too much time. Receivers didn't break open in the eyes of Lawbaugh. Held it, tried to step up left, nothing there, tried to come to the right. Seth Hunsinger in that area brings him down.
4th down and 8 for the Bulldogs. Sean Sheptock, the hunters in there. I think Berwick short a player. Have to rush someone on.
Should they bother with the timeout or take the delay? They're going to get it off.
Yep.
2-1. Yep.
Sheptock gets the kick away. Beautiful kick. High and deep. Hazleton area will let it bounce. Mike Salutko on good coverage. It'll go dead at the Cougar 32-yard line. So that's where Hazleton area puts it in play with 9:21 remaining in this opening half. And Berwick leading by a score of 20-0.
Very high punt. Somebody should field it. Both the twin safeties back there kind of look to each other and wave their arms like, let this go. I don't think you decline to field the punt because it's too high in the air. All they do is step up and make the play on it. Fortunately for Hazleton, it just kind of died where it hit, did not bounce.
End of the first quarter, Crestwood leading Tunkhannock by a score of 14-6. Again, the Bulldogs back on the road next week in Mountaintop against Crestwood. First down call, pass to the left side, completed to Lance Johnson, but Ryan Lawbaugh with a good tackle in the open field. That pass completion will go for lost yardage.
First completion of the game for the quarterback, Tyler Wolf. He was 0 for 6 prior to that. Matt Fisher had one fall incomplete. And that first completion, a sideways pass in the backfield, gets knocked back for about 5 yards.
Second down and 14 for Hazleton area at their 29-yard line. Casadas and Fisher, receivers to the left. Also a wide receiver to the far side. As Wolf off play action, fires and overshoots his mark. Kevin Molesky, the closest one to it at the 40-yard line.
Receiver might have broke off the pattern. He seemed rather confident in throwing it a little bit deeper. So I think a receiver who felt a little bump and run couldn't continue with his route.
Lopez will come in there for Berwick in that interior line on these obvious passing situations. Like to get his quickness, see if he can get out after the quarterback, even from in close. And Peyton Williams checks in as an extra defensive back.
Ethan Hughes coming off the defensive line will catch his wind.
3rd and 14. Slot to the left, wide receiver right. Wolf under center. Gives straight ahead. Molesky and nothing doing as Eric Montez makes the stop right there.
He's just that good, Jim. He senses the little delay going inside of him. Places area of responsibility wide first. Nothing comes. He can cheat on down inside to the center and make the tackle on that play for a loss.
Luke Russo on to do the punting. As Keegan Wilk and Blake Bauer back anticipating. Do we have a timeout here?
Or is there an injury on the sideline? Something's not quite right that the officials are checking on. I think one of the members of the chain gang may have gotten knocked over on a previous play, Jim, and they want to make sure that that elderly gent is okay.
So both teams will get an unofficial timeout here with 8:06 remaining in this first half. And Berwick leading by a score of 20-0. The referee, Jay Rowan, signals both teams we're ready to go. Again, Blake Bauer and Tegan Wilk anticipating this punt from Luke Russo. Matt Fisher does the long snapping for the Cougars. Russo back at his own 16-yard line. Snap is there. Russo gets the kick away. Angles it toward the sideline and will go out of bounds on the far side. A rugby-style kick doesn't go very far. Berwick will take over in Hazleton area territory with 7:59 to go in the half, and the Bulldogs leading 20-0.
The advantage of the rugby-style kick is you can get people downfield. You catch it, you look, you take a couple steps, and you're going to sort of sideways kick it, not real high, but hope to really get the roll end over end as you're kicking more toward the top of the football. He did everything with the delay, the little bit of a run to the right to get people downfield. But then he kicks it out of bounds, so the roll doesn't matter.
Just 19 yards on the punt. Berwick has it at the Hazleton area 48-yard line. Ryan Lawbaugh is the quarterback, and he's under center with an I formation behind him. And he gives the ball to Tegan Wilk, who breaks it outside the 40. Turns the corner, 35-30, 25-20, 15-10-5, and he's in for a touchdown. Tegan Wilk, 48 yards for the score from a tailback position.
Tally him up on 3 carries, 112 yards here in the first half. 2 touchdown runs among those 3 carries. He just has game-breaking speed, Jim. It's sort of a sweeping action. 2 Hazleton defenders seem to have angles on him, but he has, from the hash mark to the sideline, to outrun those angles. He turns on the jets, and he blows by them.
Brendan Hinkle will attempt the extra point out of the hold of Tegan Wilk. Snap placement. Kick is up, and the kick is good. Time on the field. 7:49 remaining opening half. Berwick 27, Hazleton area nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Choose with confidence. The Medicine Shop.
At the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located at the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, caring goes beyond the prescriptions. Discover the one-on-one customer service and dedication that makes caring part of the culture at the Medicine Shop in Berwick. Stock up on everything you need to keep you and your family healthy all year long. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located on the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, where caring goes beyond the prescriptions.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
An electrifying run by Tegan Wilk. He was lined up as the tailback. Aiden Mason ahead of him. Got the ball and went off the right side. His second electrifying play of the season. Of this game. He had a 57-yard run from the Wildcat on the first play from scrimmage. So 57 on one play, 48 on another. He's helped Berwick to a 27-0 advantage with 7:49 to go before halftime.
Yeah, 3 carries for 112 yards. We've mentioned also a 15-yard touchdown, Jim, that some officials, well, not 15-yard touchdown, a 15-yard reception that they marked inside the 1 that we thought may have been in as he kicked the pylon.
Kickoff from Eric Montez. Good kick. Johnson back at the 8-yard line, up the middle, 10, 15. Lance Johnson gets to about the 25-yard line where he is gang tackled.
Dallas Schechterly, the first man down, got his inside arm in, held on, would not let go.
So the Cougars will get the football now. They're marking it at the 26-yard line with 7:41 remaining in this opening half.
And there's been no offense. Really have one back, Matt Casadas with 5 yards on 2 carries. Kevin Molesky with just 3 yards on 2. I have 3 other players that combined for a minus 11. So there's been nothing in the ground game and just 1 complete for minus 5 yards for Hazleton.
Anthony Cisco is in that defensive front for the Bulldogs on this series as the give and a loss back to the 22-yard line as Cisco is among the people in on Buckman, who got the ball and immediately drew the attention of blue jerseys.
Blaine Cleaver blitzing from the outside linebacker spot on the left, almost decapitates him, oohs and ahs from the crowd when they see that big body lining someone up for a hit. They'll lose a couple yards.
Second down and 13 for the Cougars, back at their own 23-yard line. They break the huddle, and they'll send a slot to the right and a slot to the left. Wolf out of the gun. has the snap, back to throw, fires a quick out. They'll get the completion, and they'll get a loss as Blaine Cleaver puts the wood to the receiver, Matt Cusatis, at the 19-yard line.
You can almost tell it's going to be Blaine Cleaver when you hear the fan reaction. Again, he had him lined up. Sideways pass. The man's 2-3 yards deep in the backfield. Blaine Cleaver's playing a man-to-man, and he sees that, watches the quarterback step, and it's like there's a red laser beam on his chest as Blaine Cleaver comes in like a missile and knocks him back.
3rd down and 17. Cougars back at their 19-yard line. Wolf gives straight ahead, and a gain of a couple, and a good second effort out to the 25-yard line as Berwick appeared to have Lance Johnson down, but nice effort by him to get some extra yardage, well short of the first down yardage. And the punt team will come on for the Cougars on a 4th and 11.
Yeah, Berwick struggling to bring him down as he kept on fighting, but he barely gets back to the initial line of scrimmage. 4th and 11 will create a punting situation, and these have not fared well for Hazleton.
Keegan Wilk, Blake Maurer deep. Russo with the rugby-style kick as he runs to his right and gets the kick away, and a fair catch called for by Blake Maurer at around the Berwick 47-yard line. So that's where the Bulldogs will put it in play with 5:28 remaining in this opening half, and Berwick leading by a score of 27-0.
Smart, fair catch. The ball went very high, and again with the rugby-style kicker buying some time for his people to get downfield, we see Matt Fisher right in the face of Blake Maurer.
So let's see what the Bulldogs come up with offensively from their own 47-yard line.
If it involves Teagan Wilk, it's probably going to be successful. Every time he's touched the ball, he's made good things happen.
Well, he's not out there right now as Lopez and Aiden Mason, both running backs in there. Aiden Mason will be the fullback ahead of Alejandro Lopez. Eric Montez is a blocking back to the right. Play action. Raw ball back to throw. Looking long and incomplete. And not sure where he was going because neither receiver was looking for the ball.
Underthrown. I think Sean Sheptock felt, hey, I have a step and I'm going to keep flying. But he rolled away from it a little bit, and he just didn't have the arm to get it all the way downfield there. The other man not really crossing into the area, so it comes up well short.
2nd down and 10. Bulldogs at their own 47-yard line. Berwick 27, Hazleton area, nothing. Again, the I formation with Montez, the blocking back to the right. And Lopez gets the ball. He's over midfield. He's to the Hazleton 49-yard line.
And the tackle yet again, Seth Hunsinger, who's playing off like a linebacker, zeroing in and making the hit. But Berwick does open up a nice seam, 5-yard gain.
3rd down call coming. Marking at the 49, so give him 4. 3rd down and 6 in Hazleton area territory.
Ball's on the left hash, the Hazleton side of the field. Wide side is here toward the Berwick side of the field.
Sheptock wide to the left as the lone wide receiver on this 3rd down play. As the give is to Lopez. Alejandro Lopez very close to the first down yardage inside the 45 to 43. Very shifty runner.
Yes, he is. Close enough maybe for a measurement. They haven't moved the chains. It was freshman Matthew Buckman who came up hard from the secondary to submarine him. They will move the chains.
6 yards to the carry by Alejandro Lopez.
He is shifty. Made one little cut, moved over from his right to his left about the distance of one player. Made a man miss and earned the chains because of that move.
Sheptock wide to the left. Again, Berwick staying with that I formation. Aiden Mason, the fullback. As Lawbaugh under center. Play action, back to throw, big pass rush, gets the pass away, has his man, Aiden Mason at the 40, the 30, Mason down to the 25-yard line. Good job by Lawbaugh just to get that pass away. Big pass rush, got it away to Aiden Mason, who as this season progresses, becoming involved in the passing game.
Yes, he is. Both backs went out. Eric Montez went out at about 10 yards. Mason went out at about 2. But they're parallel each other. At least that's the design. They ended up a little closer than that, and Eric Montez became a convoy for Aiden Mason with his 3rd catch of the season.
18 yards on the reception. 1st and 10, Berwick from the 25. Lopez the call, and he is hit behind the line. He'll be brought down right about the line of scrimmage.
Dante Mattarella from his linebacker spot, dives on in, slides from the knee to ankle, and refuses to let go as he has that running back there and holds him to no gain.
2nd down and 10. Berwick at the Cougar 25. Clock running, 3:10 remaining in this opening half. Berwick with a couple of timeouts remaining. They'll send Sean Sheptock wide to the left. And they'll stay in this I formation, with Montez the blocking back to the right. Play action. Lawball back to throw. Looking for Sheptock. Nothing there. Has to roll left. Then turns the corner. Keeps the football and gets out of bounds on the far side. At about the 19-yard line. So pick up about 6 on the play. Gave it a good look downfield. But Sheptock covered.
Trying to direct his receivers, actually, Jim, as he's going, pointing with the football, go this way, go a little deeper, and it takes the defender deeper as well. While the receiver couldn't break open, it opened up some running room for the quarterback to take it out of bounds for a nice gain.
3rd down and 4. Berwick at the Hazleton area 19-yard line.
Going out of bounds on the left sideline. We'll put it on the left hash, so the wide side is here to the right.
Lawball under center, toss sweep right side to Lopez, who juggles the football and then regains it and gets what he can and close to the 1st down yardage.
I think he has it. To see where they spot it, he needs to get to the 15-yard line, and it was mighty close. They may measure this. I think he has it, but they're going to say inches.
So 4th down for Berwick, just short of the Hazleton area 15-yard line. Hazleton area made a stop on a 4th and 1 earlier. Cougars dig in here. Ball quarterback keeper, and should have the 1st down. That's a tough play to stop when you need less than a yard.
You know the cadence. Your center knows it, and by snapping it back, it'll move Heimbach forward. Plus, you're allowed that little push from behind now, and Berwick takes advantage of that. So Ryan Lawbaugh with the quarterback sneak earns the 1st down.
Bulldogs at the Cougar 14-yard line. Clock running, now under 2 minutes remaining in the half. Aiden Mason, the lone running back. 2 blocking backs to the right. Schechterly and Montez. Back to throw. Lawball is batted down, incomplete.
Nice play by the defense. Matt Fisher blitzing from the right cornerback position. Comes in hard on the blind side. Everything stacked to the right, but yet Lawball is designed to roll left. That corner blitzing has a free shot. Lawbaugh tries to throw that side, but he can't as Matt Fisher blocks it with his hands.
2nd and 10, Berwick at the Hazleton area 14-yard line. Blaine Cleaver, the tight end, to the left. Sheptock, tight end to the right. Aiden Mason, the lone running back. He gets the call, looks for room, not much there. He'll get down to about the 12-yard line, and they'll bring up a 3rd down.
Dante Mattarella at linebacker, shot the A-gap, met him in there, and limited the gain to just about a yard or so.
This is the 11th play of this drive. It's at the Hazleton area 12-yard line where Berwick faces a 3rd down and 8.
Most of the play calls have been relatively vanilla, but here in this situation, you might open the playbook a little bit further. Turn toward those back pages. Try something a little trickier.
Lopez back in there as a running back to the left of Lawball, who waits the shotgun snap. He's got a slot to the left. He's looking that way. Rolling left. Big pass rush. Now it opens up for him. He's inside the 10. He's at the 5 and is in for Berwick touchdown. Nicely done. Ryan Lawball looked over the field. Nothing open. Saw it opening up the middle. Goes 12 yards for the score.
He had a good read. He tried to roll to the left. I think they wanted it to tight end, but Hazleton stayed with it. It's also tough in the direction he's rolling to get a good throw on. So he planned it, broke over toward the right side, created a lane for himself, and he has the deceptive speed to beat people into the end zone.
So Berwick now with the lead of 33-0. And they may go for 2 here to try to get this into a mercy rule mode. That's exactly what they're going to do. And a flag down on the play before they could get started. Too many men on the field for Berwick.
Well, now you might decide to kick it. We'll see. They're taking their time. Everyone coming to the sideline, deciding which way they want to go.
Longest drive of the game, 12 plays, 53 yards for Berwick, culminating on the touchdown run by Ryan Lawbaugh, his second rushing touchdown of the game, his 5th of the season. They're still going to go through with a 2-point attempt. This one will be from the 8-yard line, and now more confusion and a timeout called by the Bulldogs. 55 seconds to go in the half. They lead at 33-0. You're listening to Berwick Football on Sports Radio HLM.
SUV season is here at Kent Pollock Ford. Get back to school with plenty of cargo room and enough seating to haul all your family and friends. Don't worry about being a teacher's pet. You get to grade with $5,500 back on every 2019 Ford SUV going on now at Kent Pollock Ford. Need a little more pickup at your tailgate? Get up to $12,900 in savings off MSRP or 0% financing on America's best-selling truck, the 2019 Ford F-150. Don't be late. Offers end soon. Stop in and shop Kent Pollock Ford, Berwick.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
Berwick following their timeout to go for the 2-point conversion. The ball after the penalty back at the Hazleton 8-yard line. Ryan Lawbaugh out of the gun has the snap, and he rolls right. He's looking to the end zone. He fires to the end zone, and the ball is knocked down, incomplete. So the attempt fails, timeout on the field. 55.1 seconds remaining in the opening half. Berwick 33, Hazleton area nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Welsh's Towing and Repair proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs and wishes them a successful year. Welsh's Towing and Repair has a long tradition of helping. You can call Welsh's 24/7 at 759-9737 if you are in need of a tow, jumpstart, tire change, are locked out, or to request them on scene if you're in an accident. Welsh's accepts all major insurance and motor clubs, and they offer all types of preventive maintenance and state inspections for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Welsh's Towing and Repair, South Mercer Street in Berwick, and at their South Center Storage Facility, Columbia Boulevard in Berwick.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
Eric Montez will kick it off for the Bulldogs. 55.1 seconds remaining in the half that they have dominated, leading Hazleton area by a score of 33-0. As his kick is high and deep, and Casadas back at the 8-yard line to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, tries to get outside right. Nice return by him out to the 27-yard line.
Yes, it was. Evan Meehan eventually bringing him down, but after he broke 3 tackles in that return.
So the Cougars with the football. One timeout remaining for them, just 46 seconds remaining in this opening half. This game started so poorly for Hazleton area. It seemed like they were down 13-0 before you could blink. And they've played hard. They've made some plays, but just overwhelmed particularly by that Berwick defense here in the opening half.
They've been strong, and we've seen some impact hits.
So Tyler Wolf under center gives to Molesky straight ahead. Strong running by him, but Berwick stronger yet and holds it to a 2-yard gain.
Tegan Will coming up from free safety, anticipated the run, cheated up like a linebacker, waited in the hole, got him very low around the hips and actually lifted him up and then brought him down. That's a tough runner to do that on because Kevin Molesky has some bulk.
2nd down and 7. Looks like Hazleton area will let the clock wind down. And this first half will come to an end. A half dominated by the Bulldogs of Berwick. At the break, Berwick 33, Hazleton area nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Prices are falling on all our vehicles during the fall sell-off event happening right now at Fairfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. It's Ram Power Days, so let's talk Ram trucks. We have over 100 of them on site ready for you to drive home. And you can get 0% for 60 months plus no payments for 90 days on select 2019 Rams or lease one for just $159. Jeeps? You won't find a better selection anywhere else. Lease a 2019 Grand Cherokee Laredo or a 2019 Cherokee Limited for just $199. So don't shop the rest. Shop the best. Come see the Kaiser Boys and experience for yourself the best selection, the best prices, and the best service and parts around. Fairfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Route 405 in Muncie or Route 11 in Danville. Fairfield for the best deals.
Leases are for 24, 36, and 42 months. $34.99 due at signing. Offers on select vehicles only for qualified buyers only. Must finance through Chrysler Capital. Offers end October 31st. See dealer for complete details.
Fairfield, you're gonna love us.
If you have a child that's interested in gymnastics, or if you've been practicing the sport for years, then Access Gymnastics Academy is where you want to be. Their dedicated coaches will teach you everything you need to know to perform your best, from the basics of flexibility, form, and style, to advanced techniques that will improve your rhythm and style during a routine. Call Heidi Rebuck at Access Gymnastics Academy at 570-441-5969. That's 570-441-5969. Now enrolling for beginner to advanced classes at 917 East 7th Street in Bloomsburg.
Northeast Pennsylvania, it's your home. And no matter what stage of life you find yourself in, what you rely on most is security. When that house becomes a home, the moment you get that new car, when your dreams become a reality, it's times like this when you have to look to the experts for advice and financial peace of mind. They're there with innovative products and services to help you with your financial future every step of the way. Together, they will help dreams and goals become reality. They are more than a bank. They're your neighbor. They are First Keystone Community Bank. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
Halftime from Crescent Field. First half dominated by the Bulldogs. They lead Hazleton area 33-0. Didn't take Berwick long to get on the board. At the opening kickoff, a short kick by Hazleton area. Berwick recovering at their 43-yard line. First play from scrimmage of the game. Wildcat direct snap to Tegan Wilk. He takes it outside right on the far sideline and races 57 yards for the touchdown. Brendan Hinkle with the extra point. Berwick with a 7-0 lead. The ensuing kickoff drove Hazleton deep in their own territory. In fact, they took over at the 1-yard line, eventually punting out of there. Blake Maurer with the return to the 17-yard line. There was a 15-yard completion to Tegan Wilk, who almost got in the end zone. Alejandro Lopez went in from 5 yards, capping a 3-play, 17-yard drive. There was a bobbled snap on the extra point attempt, but Berwick had a lead of 13-0. They added to that lead with 7:51 to go in the opening quarter on a 1-yard keeper by Ryan Lawbaugh, capping a 2-play, 16-yard possession. That was the possession in which they had the 15-yard completion to Tegan Wilk, who got out of bounds at the 1-yard line, leading the way to Ryan Lawbaugh's touchdown run. Brendan Hinkle with the extra point. Berwick extended their lead to 20-0, and that stood up through 1 quarter of play. In the second quarter, Tegan Wilk on a 48-yard run as he was lined up as the tailback in the I formation. That was after a 19-yard punt set the Bulldogs up in Hazleton area territory. So with Wilk, another electrifying play for him in the opening half. Brendan Hinkle with the extra point. That game was 7:49 to go in the half, and Berwick extended their lead to 27-0. And then later in that quarter, the Bulldogs put on a 12-play, 53-yard scoring drive. The touchdown coming on a 12-yard run by Ryan Lawbaugh, who looked to the end zone to throw, couldn't find anybody open, found an opening straight ahead, took it in himself. Big play along that 12-play drive, an 18-yard pass completion from Ryan Lawbaugh to Aiden Mason. Berwick with that 33-0 advantage tried to put the game into the mercy rule mode, but a pass attempt failed for the extra point. So we stand here at halftime with Berwick leading Hazleton area by a score of 33-0. Stay with us. Raven Klein will bring you updated on the high school football scoreboard. Weekend number 7 kicking off tonight. Andy will bring you all the stats from that opening half. You're listening to Berwick Football on Sports Radio HLM.
Reds Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick, are your roofing experts for Luzerne, Columbia, and Montour counties. With 26 years of experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Reds Roofing will get the job done right for your decks, siding, or roofing? Specializing in metal and rubber shingles, most roofing work is done in one day. So remember the name, Reds Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Call Reds Roofing, 752-4351. Owner Harry Titus, a proud supporter of the Berwick football team.
How do you save money when you shop for groceries? If you haven't checked out Surplus Outlet, you're missing out on savings that could go right into your pocket. Hello, this is Justin Michaels, and at Surplus Outlet, we take saving you money very seriously. At Surplus Outlet, you'll find groceries and much more at below wholesale prices. We work hard to buy right and pass those savings directly on to you. At Surplus Outlet, we stock all the items that you would expect at a grocery store, but each week we get new arrivals, and the savings can be tremendous. So you'll want to stop in often.
Surplus Outlet, with locations on Route 11 Northumberland, Route 11 Berwick, and Route 15 Montgomery.
Berwick Bulldog football.
In HLM Sports tonight, all scores are at half for this. Warrior Run leads Bloomsburg 28-7. Central Columbia and South Williamsport are tied at 7. Southern Columbia is leading Jersey Shore 56-6. Tied at 0 is Columbia Montour, Votech, and Montrose. Montoursville is leading Danville 43-7. Loyalsock leads Mifflinburg 14-0. Dallas is beating Nanticoke 49-0. Selinsgrove is leading Shamokin 13-0. Pittston area and Williamsport are tied at 7. Wyoming area and Dunmore are tied at 7. And Northwest Hazleton area are also tied at 14. Mount Carmel is leading Hughesville 47-0. Wilkes-Barre area is leading Wyoming Valley West 21-0. Valley View leads Western Wayne 20-15. And Crestwood is beating Tunkhannock 28-6. For HLM Sports, I'm Raven Klein.
Berwick Bulldog football, HLM.
Now time from Crispin Field, proudly entertained by the Hazleton area marching band. Berwick leading Hazleton area at the break 33-0. Stats from the opening half, Andy Lickney.
Berwick has 215 yards in total offense. They've been able to hold Hazleton to -5. Now, Hazleton just hasn't been able to do anything offensively against this Berwick defense. They have 12 rushing attempts. They gained 11 but lost 8. So they have +3 in the running game. Passing, they've completed 2 out of 10. Keegan Wilk had an interception within those 10. But the 2 pass completes are for -8 yards. So -8 in the air, +3 on the ground, a net of -5 on 22 plays. Tyler Wolf, the freshman, has looked very composed in there. He looks young. His hand looks small as he has a tough time gripping the ball. But he hasn't looked flustered. He hasn't looked overwhelmed. I thought he's had a very nice game. But he's only been able to put 2 passes on target. Mike Brennan's trying to give him sharp, short passes that he can go with. And he's done a nice job, but Berwick just defends everything so well, and they've come at him hard. Only been sacked once, lost 4 yards on that, put 2 into the hands of players in the backfield. Some others may have been dropped or they've been batted away. And he's struggled in that regard. The one deep pass he did try, the free safety Tegan Wolk, who's a Division I recruit, able to go on over, go high, make a one-handed interception on it, and return it very nicely. Matt Fisher was in at quarterback for one of the passes, and that one also fell incomplete. Looking at the running game, 12 rushes in all. Kevin Molesky has 6 yards on 3 carries. Lance Johnson has 4 carries for a net of 0. Matt Casatis has 2 carries for 5. Freshman Matt Buckman with 2 carries for -4. And we mentioned Tyler Wolf suffering the 1 sack, -4 for him. 8 yards in losses, 11+ yards in the running game, and net of +3. Combine it with the -8 in the passing game, they have -5 yards on 22 plays here at halftime, as Berwick is really playing a strong defensive game. Looking at the Berwick offense, they featured Tegan Wilk. He had the first touch of the game, and it went 57 yards out of the Wildcat on sweeping action for a touchdown. He had another carry that took him up to 69, and then another long touchdown run, his second of the half, that puts his total at 3 carries for 112 yards. We mentioned his interception. His only weakness, he threw an interception. They tried a little halfback option look. It was underthrown, and Matt Buckman, the freshman from Hazleton, able to come up with that. But Tegan Wilk in the rushing department, 112 yards on 3 carries. Aiden Mason, 8 carries for 24 yards. Alejandro Lopez, 4 carries for 15. And then down to Ryan Lawbaugh at quarterback, 6 carries in all for 18 for him. In all for Berwick, 21 rushes, 169 yards. Tegan Wilk with 112 of those. Passing, we mentioned Wilk 0 for 1 with the interception, so the one dark cloud in his game. But looking at Ryan Lawbaugh, I have missed 4 of 7, no interceptions, and 46 yards in the air. Tegan Wilk on the end of one of those catches, a 15-yarder that just missed being the touchdown. Sean Sheptock caught a 7-yarder, caught it at the line of scrimmage and ran for 7. Blake Maurer found the hole between linebackers for 6 yards, and Aiden Mason took one for 18 out of the backfield. 46 in the air for Berwick, 169 on the ground. 215 yards in all on their 29 plays. Compare the 215 to -5 for Hazleton, and people can see why we're approaching that mercy rule here at halftime, Jim.
Yeah, and I think the mercy rule would be optimal for Berwick in this second half, a chance to get those starters out of there. They're going to go to Crestwood next week. Crestwood leading 28-6, so they're going to have a 5-2 record going in that game, and probably much more resistance than the Bulldogs are facing this one tonight.
Yeah, certainly. And, you know, I like what I'm seeing from Hazleton, considering the number of freshmen we're seeing. We've seen a freshman starting at quarterback. We've seen Matt Buckman, who's a surprise freshman, playing defensively and offensively for this team. Their 2 starting corners on defense were freshmen, Matt Casadas, who's a fine ball player. We've seen him offensively, Connor Shamani. You know, they're that young, and a little bit beat up, too, that they're playing with a youthful team. You know, it's a different type of coaching experience when you're not loaded. Now, Mike Brennan, when he's loaded, he's won state championships. We've seen that. He can coach the winners. But I think he's doing a great job when it comes to coaching. You're not seeing bad penalties. You're not seeing teams jumping offside. Even with the change in quarterback and the change in cadence and what could be some confusion. He coaches them with patience, and he's always a great influence on young players.
From a Berwick standpoint, I talked about getting rest for the starters in this second half. Another thing, though, you have backup players that work very hard, practice every day. Yes, they get to play JV for the most part, but there's something about the Friday night lights that are something special, and you'd like to give as many players an opportunity to get out here before this night's over.
Most certainly so. You know, a lot of people ask me, why is Southern Columbia so successful? And there's a number of reasons. It's a well-coached program. Their weightlifting is a big part of it in the team building as well as the team strength. But another factor is their backups play about a half of a football game almost every Friday night. So your backups, you know, especially when you're going to a 15 and 16 game season, have played the equivalent of years of football under the Friday night lights. And by the time that they have to step up into those starting roles and starring roles, you know, it's nothing new to them. It's expected, and it's the next step from starter to stardom that they're going to take. And Berwick can do the same thing with this type of a game where they can get those number 2s in there to really get them the experience.
And as far as whether Berwick would be able to bounce back from that loss last week to Valley View, I guess the answer is pretty resounding yes.
Yeah, they're going to bounce back, and we expected them to bounce back well, and I think next week is going to be a better test, and the following week an even bigger test. And it means a lot. There's sort of a growing up that comes with it. There's an evolution as a team, a maturing as a team. When you can take that loss, learn from that loss, react well and sort of regain the momentum into a playoff drive. And I can see that starting.
At the half, Berwick 33, Hazleton area nothing. We'll be back with the second half kickoff. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
When you need the services of a professional law firm, you need the law offices of Lutz & Petty at 916 West Front Street in Berwick. Lutz & Petty is your hometown choice for elder law and asset protection, criminal law, estate planning, real estate, and personal injury. The full-service legal team of Lutz & Petty takes this opportunity to wish the Berwick Bulldogs a successful and injury-free season. Call them at 570-218-4888. The law offices of Lutz & Petty, protecting you. Go Dogs!
Advanced Automotive Auto Service Center at 1895 West Front Street in Berwick will take care of any sort of automotive repair, PA state inspections, brakes, and tune-ups. Frank and the guys at Advanced Automotive can also handle custom exhaust, engine and transmission repairs and overhauls. Anything that ails your vehicle, let Advanced Automotive take care of it. 1895 West Front Street in Berwick. Call 570-752-1440. Go Dogs.
Quality care for your dental health at Berwick Dental Arts, 105 West 9th Street in Berwick. State-of-the-art equipment comes together with a tradition of 45 years of personalized care. From the youngest to the oldest patient, let Berwick Dental Arts doctors and staff take care of every aspect of your dental needs. They'll process all types of insurances. Make your appointment today. Call Berwick Dental Arts friendly staff at 752-4542. Berwick Dental Arts, making smiles beautiful.
Ask Ameriprise financial advisor Jeffrey McKinnon about the exclusive Confident Retirement Approach. It's a personalized, flexible, step-by-step approach toward financial balance. Call Jeff today at 570-520-4137. Offices are located at 22 South Prospect Street in Nanticoke, PA, and 118 East 3rd Street in Berwick, PA. The Confident Retirement Approach is not a guarantee of future financial results. Investment advisory products and services are made available through Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, a registered investment advisor.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
Both teams have made their appearance on the field. A couple minutes away from the kickoff to start the second half. First half dominated by Berwick. They lead at 33-0. Take a look at the rest of the way as far as the regular season is concerned for the Bulldogs. I mentioned at Crestwood next week. Brand new head coach Ryan Arcangeli and the Comets leading handily at the half against Tunkhannock 28-6. So in all likelihood, they will bring a 5-2 record into the game against the Bulldogs in Mountaintop next Friday. And then the following week, Berwick will be at Dallas, which will be a huge game no matter what happens from this point on. As Dallas rolling over to Nanticoke tonight, they're going to stay unbeaten. Dallas will play at Valley View next week, and then they'll be home against Berwick the following week on week 9 of the regular season. And that will pretty much shape up how the seeding will go for the District 2 Quad A playoffs. Last year, of course, Valley View was the winner. They won the title for the second straight year. They had no problems in the final. They rolled over Dallas in that championship game after Dallas had scored that 3-0 overtime win over Berwick in the semifinals. The Bulldogs at Crestwood, at Dallas, and then senior night on the regular season with Wilkes-Barre area, the brand new jointure of GAR and Coughlin and Myers. The Wolfpack will be here to end the regular season. If the Bulldogs can run the table, they'll certainly have a shot at the number 1 seed, depending on what happens with Dallas and Valley View. But they will wrap up a home field for the opening round of the playoffs and perhaps the first 2 rounds. There's 8 teams out of the 11 that are classified. I think there's 12 now this season, classified as District 2 Quad A, and 8 of those teams will qualify for the playoffs, and the first 4 teams, which Berwick certainly hopes to be among, will be at home to start those playoffs. And don't underestimate what a home field can mean for those playoffs.
It does mean a lot, Jim. Berwick would certainly love to be home, but there's also the disadvantage of being away. You have the bad taste in your mouth at Valley View if that's where you end up playing. Berwick's coaches weren't very happy with their placement, crowded into about a 2-foot space along with their camera, sitting on equipment chests trying to take notes and send word in down the bottom. There's advantages to being home and disadvantages to being away.
Berwick will kick it off. Hazleton area moving from our right to our left. Second half underway. Eric Montez kick deep down to the 7-yard line. Lance Johnson to the far side of the field to the 20. Johnson running hard, gets over the 25, out near the 27-yard line.
Well, I like the play that I see out of Drayton Wilk, Tegan Wilk's younger brother, just a freshman. Again, the main part of bringing that man down.
So the Cougars will put it in play. 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line. We're just underway in the second half. Berwick leading by a score of 33-0. Again, Hazleton area without their starting quarterback, Kellen Warner, a junior, who had been having a pretty good season. But he is injured, not in uniform, and Tyler Wolf, a 9th grader, is under center as he has been from the beginning. As he gives off the tailback, and he draws a crowd of Bulldogs, and a loss of a couple on the play.
Yeah, every defender on the right side of the center got a piece of him.
Luke Molesky was the runner.
And Molesky trying to fight ahead for a yard, but Berwick meeting him right at that line of scrimmage and riding him backward for about 7 yards. They'll give him his forward progress.
Second down and 10 for the Cougars at their 27. Berwick incredible against the run. Coming into this game, 22.8 yards a game for the opposition. As Wolf back to throw, fires into traffic, incomplete. Blaine Cleaver. Could have, should have, had the interception.
Zipped it hard, and he's halfway to the receiver, though. He's not back on the receiver. That line drive kind of at its peak speed, able to bounce off his fingers. Hazleton, receiver, down on the play. Jim, both teams will go to the sideline while they tend to him.
11:03 remaining in this third quarter. Berwick well on their way to improving to 6-1 on the season. Can't tell who that injured player is.
He was downfield in the pass route. I don't think he was the target out there. They have him sitting up, have him standing up, and walking off under his own power. It's number 3, Matt Fisher, the star receiver on the team. He'll have to sit down for at least one play before he can re-enter.
So after the injury timeout, it's going to be a 3rd down and 10. I'm finally learning after 50 years in the business, do not call for a commercial during an injury timeout. Immediately the player come up.
That's the way it works.
I swear, if they called for a coroner, the guy would still get up. So I don't do that. I don't do that.
Corollary of Murphy's Law, Doyle's Law.
3rd down and 10. Hazleton area at their own 27-yard line. Wolf out of the gun. Fake to Johnson, throws a pass over the middle, and it goes incomplete. Intended for Connor Shamani, a little beyond his reach. So 4th down, punting situation for Hazleton area.
Connor Shamani, another of the true freshmen playing on this team. We've mentioned Matt Buckman. We've mentioned Matt Casatis. We've mentioned the quarterback and Tyler Wolf. Some teams don't even dress a freshman at the varsity level. Here, 4 playing quality time.
Russo's kick is away. Berwick will let it go. Takes an advantageous bounce for the Bulldogs and will go dead at the Hazleton area 47-yard line. So Berwick's first possession of the second half in Hazleton area territory, just 20 yards on that punt by Luke Russo.
Berwick's played with short field most of the game. This one also, they'll be in the attacking zone as Hazleton has to defend its own goal.
Sean Sheptock wide to the right side. Blake Bauer in a slot to that side. Blaine Cleaver, part of the offense. He lines up as the tight end on the left. 1st and 10, Bulldogs from the Cougar 47. Walbaugh gives to Aiden Mason straight ahead. He powers to the Hazleton area 44-yard line, picks up 3 in the first down carry.
Seth Hunsinger's had a very strong game for Hazleton, knifing on in to make the tackle on Aiden Mason, limiting it to a good 2 to 3 yards only.
Mason coming into this game, 471 yards rushing, 7th in the Wyoming Valley Conference. It's Berwick 2nd down and 7 from the Cougar 44-yard line. Bubba back to throw. Fires, has his man. Sheptock tries to get out of the tackler. Does so at the 35 and ridden down inside the 30-yard line. Well, he's got the speed, he's got the size, and that time he shows the power. As Matt Casadas tried to make the play and could not as Sheptock broke away. Now Sean Sheptock gets up a little gimpy, and they will help him to the sideline after that first down pickup.
Casadas, a 155-pound freshman, came up and held on and held on and held on. There's got to be a little bit more pursuit to help him to limit those nice plays.
17 yards on the reception as they look to Sheptock on the sideline. 1st and 10, Berwick from the 27-yard line. Movement along the lines and flags down.
I think Mike Zalutko might have broken his stance from the right tackle position. Berwick's going to move it back 5 yards.
So we back at the 32-yard line, 1st and 15 for the Bulldogs. They tend to Sheptock on that sideline. He is in some pain. Well, that would be a huge loss for Berwick. Both sides of the football. As Bulldogs now 1st and 15 at the Hazleton area 32. Slot to the left. Preston Robinson as a wide receiver to the right. Lawbaugh gives the ball off to Mason. Big hole inside the 20, inside the 15, inside the 10, down to the 6-yard line. Let offensive line open a gaping hole for Aiden Mason.
Boy, they did. A little trapping play. The left guard was pulling Aaron Cashman. He got the kick out as the right side of the line doubled down. Zalutko and Noah Craig. That creates that huge seam. Plus in the backfield, there's a little misdirection to get linebackers leaning, and boy, Aiden Mason made the most of that hole.
24 yards on the carry by Aiden Mason. 1st and goal, Berwick at the Cougar 8-yard line. Slot to the left side. Ryan Lawbaugh out of the gun. Mason to his left. Quick hitter to Preston Robbins, and Robbins is in for a touchdown. Bullet pass by Ryan Lawbaugh to Preston Robbins.
His first catch and touchdown of the season, Jim. He started the season a little bit injured, worked his way back into the receiver rotation, and now with a slant-in pattern, thrown low about the knees. He goes low, head first, able to chest that ball nicely. And the quarterback, Lawbaugh, puts it where only he can catch it.
So Berwick does indeed put this into the mercy rule mode with 9:32 to go in the third. Extra point by Brendan Hinkle is up, and it is good. With the score, Berwick 40, Hazleton area nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Been to name brand liquidations in the Berwick Plaza Shopping Center. You're missing out on great values. At Name Brand Liquidators, you'll save money from 50 to 90% on everything imaginable, from bathroom vanities to bar stools to carpeting. You name it. Name Brand Liquidations not only sells a huge variety of merchandise, they feature name brands just like their name says, at low prices. When you're in the market for anything, shop at the store that has everything. Name Brand Liquidations. Wishing the Berwick Bulldogs a great season.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
Great start to the second half for Berwick. 5-play, 47-yard scoring drive. Capped on an 8-yard touchdown pass. Ryan Lawbaugh to Preston Robbins. Big plays along the way. A 17-yard pass completion to Sean Sheptock. And a 24-yard run by Aiden Mason. And it's 40-0 Berwick, as we will be in the mercy rule for the rest of this game. 9:32 remaining here in the third.
Have to credit the interior linemen, Jim. They're doing a great job in keeping the pressure off of the quarterback, Ryan Lawbaugh, when he chooses to throw, and creating the seams for the runners.
Montez, kick, be fielded by Lance Johnson at the 10-yard line, to the 15, to the 20, and he is hit and dropped around the 25-yard line.
Dallas Schechterly, first man down again. He's near the middle, but he has to maintain his lane until that runner comes close enough to where he can veer inside and put the shoulder to him, and he put a good hit on him.
So the Cougars will put it in play with 9:26 to go in the third, and Berwick leading this one by a score of 40-0. Well, Sean Sheptock is on his feet on the sideline. We talked about his injury. He's still in some pain and limping, but walking it off or trying to. So that's good news for the Bulldogs. The Cougars from their 25, handoff right side, and a good first down carry over the 30 to about the 32-yard line.
See who the ball carrier is. Berwick's done a number of substitutes along the way. Devin Smith's at one corner. Brandon Boone is here on the near side.
6 yards on the carry, second down and 4. The Bulldogs got it into the mercy rule and got those subs in there. Andrew Blockus is in as a linebacker position.
Drayton Wilk at safety. Looks like Brother Teagan, the way he's lurking out there.
Jake Lanning in at a defensive end position. The Cougars keep it on the ground. Buckman gets the call, and he is wrapped up. Armani Mackey making the stop for the Bulldogs.
Coming over, making a nice hit, keeping him short of the chains.
So third down call coming for Hazleton area. They mark it at the 34. It's going to be third down and 1. Also in that Berwick secondary, Brandon Boone, Gabriel DePippa, 242-pound senior. As here's the third down and 1. I formation behind the freshman quarterback, Wolf. Give straight ahead. There'll be a loss on the play. Back to the 32-yard line.
Will there ever? Boy, they got nice little penetration out of Brian Knorr, Jim. 6'4", 255-pound junior. He was at the left defensive tackle, shot the gap. They ran that area, met the man in the backfield, and that's going to force the punt as they lose 2 yards.
Dante Mattarella was the running back for Hazleton area. Luke Russo in to do the punting. Blake Maurer, and one of the people back, the low snap, but Russo fields it and gets the kick away. A line drive kick that will roll dead inside the Berwick 40-yard line. The Bulldogs, who have enjoyed marvelous field position this is one of their worst, and they're taking over at their 38-yard line. 6:55 to go. Berwick leading Hazleton area by a score of 40-0. Reminder, the Bulldogs on the road next Friday in Mountaintop to take on a revitalized Crestwood team that's probably going to bring a 5-2 record into that game. Kickoff at 7 o'clock, and our coverage, as usual, will start at 6 with the Lenahan and Dempsey Coach DiFrancesco show. So Berwick with the football, moving from our left to the right in this final period. 1st and 10 at their 38-yard line.
And all second teamers in, Jim. None of the starters in there as far as I can see.
Peyton Williams, receiver to the left. Ben Moore is the quarterback. He gives on a run by Logan Smith, loses the handle, ball out of bounds. Hazleton area never got it. So Berwick will retain possession back about the 33-yard line.
And very fortunate. He's running a sweeping action. You can see the man who has him grabbed is trying to knock out the ball. Eventually frees it, but it frees with enough force and momentum that the first defender who tries to get it gives a little bit of a kick and it goes out of bounds. So Hazleton can't get possession of it, but Berwick will lose 6 yards on that.
Sophomore Benjamin Moore at the controls. Brandon Spezzoletti is the tailback in the eye. Second down call from the 33-yard line. Spezzoletti gets the call off the left side, and Kevin Molesky wraps him up about the line of scrimmage, maybe a half-yard gain to the left.
Running a sweep, trying hard, trying to get speed, but they're not allowing him the corner as Hazleton defends it nicely. And Molesky in position to put the helmet on him.
3rd down and 15. Berwick from their own 34-yard line. Subs are on for the Bulldogs, who lead at 40-0. Clock running 5:10 remaining in the game. Stas Hughes in there as the fullback ahead of Spezzoletti. In the eye on a roll. Moore will keep the football, and he's bounced back to the 30-yard line. Ball pops free, but the referee, Jay Rowan, indicating that it came out when he hit the turf. So it'll be a punting situation for Berwick, and this will be interesting. Their punter, Sean Sheptock, being fitted for crutches on the sideline. So it's not going to be him. And we'll see. Always dicey when you clear the bench when it comes to special teams. Eric Montez is going to come on to do the punting. And Berwick just hoping to have 10 players in front of him.
And I think they're way too deep for a guy who just turned into a kicker this year and may have just turned into a punter at this minute.
Back at his 18-yard line. Snap is high. Montez goes back, gets it, gets the kick away. Line drive kick. High hop. Johnson looks for some running room, and he doesn't get any. Good coverage downfield by the Bulldogs at the 39-yard line. There is a flag down the play around midfield.
Drayton Wilk, again among the people down there. Also seeing Xander Unger in on the tackle. Didn't notice the flag.
Came about midfield. The officials talk it over. Clock does stop despite the mercy rule that we're in. 3:57 to go. As the referee, Jay Rowan, will tell us what it's all about. It's illegal procedure against Berwick, unsportsmanlike against Hazleton, offsetting.
Kick it again.
Yep.
Well, another adventure.
I'm not sure Eric Montez wants another adventure because it was a high snap. He did a good job of pulling it in.
Had a nice kick with a nice roll as well. But the thing is, it was right there where they could take the high hop and still try to return it. We'll try to improve on that punt.
Matt Fisher. Matt Casatis. Deep for Hazleton area.
I don't think there's the panic of knowing, do we have enough men this time? All the same people back out there for this punting unit.
Montez back at the 17-yard line. Another high snap. He goes back, gets it with one hand. They're on him. He gets the kick away. And Berwick will down at the 45-yard line. That is a really, really athletic play by Eric Montez.
It really was. He went up with one hand, batted the ball back down to himself, rolled out like he was thinking, I guess I'm going to have to pass this, lost one man who couldn't tackle him, and then said, I can rugby kick this. Kicked a nice line drive that probably would have had some roll, but Benjamin Moore, who's way downfield, hoping to make a tackle, comes up like, I got to catch this in the air, and he went diving after it. So I think the officials are talking, can he go to catch that if somebody else wanted to from the defense, and that conference is over.
1st and 10, Hazleton area at their own 45-yard line. Cougars move from our right to our left, 3:44 remaining in the game. Wolf back to throw, setting up an inside screen to Matt Fisher. Berwick reads it beautifully, and they bring him down for a loss at the 44-yard line.
Jim, earlier in the first quarter, I was confused as to where we were toward halftime. Is it left in the game or left in the third period?
The game.
Okay. No, third period. Third period. It seems like. Which is it?
45-yard line for Hazleton area. They have a 2nd down and 10. Again, those Berwick backups read that play beautifully. Hazleton area set the inside screen pretty well. But the subs were all over it.
Very good reaction.
And now 2nd down play, and the give, and a gain of just a couple off the left side to the 47-yard line.
Coming in there very hard, Benjamin Moore, who's been very visible since this second unit has entered the game.
So the Cougars love to get on the board and avoid this shutout here in the third. 2:30 remaining as Wolf the ninth grader who had thrown just 2 passes on the season coming into this one. Sets him down at the 47-yard line. Back to throw, has time, fires on the middle. The ball is tipped and incomplete. Nicely done by Armani Mackey, getting back in play and getting his hands on the football.
Tyler Wolf understands the plays as they're diagrammed and understands where his receiver should be. Hits the ball and puts it there, but Berwick's had defenders in the area almost all night, whether it's been the first teamers or the second teamers. His receivers have been covered very well.
Drayton Wilk along with Blake Maurer deep, anticipating the punt by Russo. Gets the kick away, line drive kick, and will go out of bounds on the far side. At about the 25-yard line with 132 remaining in the third. Again, the last score we had from Crestwood Tunkhannock, 2 teams that went in that game with 4-2 records. It's a 28-6 advantage for Crestwood at the half. So, in all probability, Berwick will be facing a 5-2 team in Mountaintop next Friday night as the Bulldogs take over. 1st and 10, they mark it at the 22-yard line of Berwick. The Bulldogs got what they wanted out of this game, and the concern obviously is to the injury to Sean Sheptock and how well he will be as the call goes to Spezzoletti and gets over the 25 out to about the 28-yard line.
Nice running, working himself from the left side of the formation over to the right in a sweeping action, turning it upfield where he sees the seam. He gets a nice 6-yard gain on that, does Brendan Spezzoletti.
2nd down and 4. Berwick at their own 28-yard line. Peyton Williams, wide receiver to the right. Slot to the left. Out of the gun. Moore will keep it himself in a hard run. Gets the first down out at the 36-yard line.
And matched by a hard tackle by Matthew Buckman, that freshman who we've seen since the starters were in, Jim. Playing at safety, had to come up after that strong run. He made a nice hard hit. There's the quarter.
10 yards on the carry to end the third quarter play with the score. Berwick 40 and Hazleton area nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Sports Radio HLM.
A car or truck accident will change your life. You get one phone call to put your life back together. Call your lawyers, Lenahan and Dempsey. They are your car and truck accident lawyers, your personal injury lawyers, your work injury lawyers. Your lawyers at Lenahan and Dempsey have won hundreds of millions of dollars for injured people just like you. Call Lenahan and Dempsey now. Call your lawyers and get help now.
Berwick Bulldog football.
In HLM Sports tonight, in the 4th, Warrior Run leads Bloomsburg 35-7. In the 4th, Central Columbia leads South Williamsport 14-7. And in the 4th, Southern Columbia leads Jersey Shore 56-14. For WHLM Sports, I'm Raven Klein.
Berwick Bulldog football, HLM.
All right, the fourth quarter play, Berwick with the football. Moving from our right to our left. Subs are all in. Berwick leading Hazleton area by a score of 40-0. As Benjamin Moore continues at the quarterback controls for the Bulldogs. He is a sophomore. He's got a slot to the left, slot to the right, and he's operating out of the gun, awaiting the snap from Gabe DePippa. So here we go. Start of the 4th. The give. Straight ahead. Spezzoletti will be gang tackled, but not before he gets to the 39-yard line. He'll pick up 3, 2nd down and 7.
Taking it from the right side of the quarterback in shotgun, but breaking it over to the left guard. He'll fight ahead for about 3 yards as Hazleton's defense stays stout.
2nd down and 7. Andy, the final numbers on Tegan Wilk rushing tonight.
Just those 3 carries, Jim, all in the first half. 2 touchdowns and the 3 carries, 112 yards.
That's a pretty good per carry average.
I can figure it out for you. You can almost do it in my head. 112 divided by 3 in my head, 37.3 yards. And the 3 goes on to infinity.
And he also had an interception in the game, which added to his Berwick career record. His 3rd interception of the season, his 17th at Berwick. Remember, he played his freshman season at Southern Columbia. So for his career, his high school career, is 22 interceptions. That's a bunch.
Amazing. Of course, he's thrown an interception in this game, so he does suck as a passer.
2nd down and 12 as Moore fakes handoff, keeps the football, and is brought down after a gain of 2 out to the 36-yard line.
I like his ball handling, though. He's not getting a lot of yardage because the Hazleton's defense is seeing it well. But that's the zone read. He's putting it in, meshing with the back, going from left to right, pulling it out, and then taking it over left guard. Now, while it hasn't stopped stymied the Hazleton defense, the action's very strong. He looks quick, and he looks like a strong runner.
3rd down and 9. Berwick at their own 37-yard line. Sophomore Benjamin Moore waits the shotgun snap. They're going to let him throw it, and he does to the far side. He's got Devin Smith, breaks 1 tackle, and gets close to the first down yardage at the 46-yard line.
He's dangerous. 4 people surrounding him until they finally do bring him down. Are they moving the chains, Jim, or are they just stretching them out? 4th and about a yard.
Ball at the 45-yard line. Moore over to the sideline. They're going to let the guys go for it on 4th and 1 from the Berwick 45-yard line.
4th and 1.
The Bulldogs trying to keep this possession alive. Spezzoletti is the running back to the left of Moore. Gives the ball to Devin Smith. He never had the handle. Ball pops loose. And Hazleton area on the football at the Berwick 44-yard line.
Ryan Matthews comes up with it, but even if Berwick falls on it, they don't have it. The high snap threw the play off. If it was a snap at the numbers, he was going to jet sweep it in front of him, and they'd have had a chance. But when he had to jump for the ball, the runner's almost past him. He can't make the exchange. And on a 4th down play, you still try to get it on in there, and the play fails.
So Hazleton area will try to get on the board for the first time in this game. 9:33 remaining. And they have a 1st and 10 at the Berwick 44-yard line. Slot to the left. I formation. Wolf gives for gain off the left side to about 4. Ryan Matthews, another 9th grader on this team, gets the carry, picks up 4 to the Berwick 40-yard line, 2nd down and 6.
Matthews has 6 carries on the season for 33 yards, ran hard off the left side. Gabe DePippa really got a nice rush, but it ended up that Matthews was able to slide inside of him, and he over-pursued it.
2nd and 6. For the Cougars at the Bulldog 40. Wolf awaiting the shotgun snap, has it, and he rolls right. Big pass rush. He'll be buried. Andrew Blockus from his linebacker position was the first one there for the Bulldogs. Ball did come loose, but they're saying he was down at the 47-yard line. Loss of 7 on the play.
And Block is coming with a blitz from his inside linebacker position. Got through kind of untouched. Didn't see panic out of Tyler Wolf. Tried to step up forward, but the Berwick defense converges on him.
3rd and 13. Cougars at the Berwick 47. Kyle Smith, a 10th grader, 5'10", 215-pound sophomore, comes into that Berwick defensive front on this 3rd down play. Cougars have a slot to the left side. Wolf under center. Toss, sweep left side to Matthews, and nothing doing. Good defense by this Berwick backup group. Remember, there was a game, I'm trying to think which one it was, but it was here at home not too long ago, and this backup group put on a goal line stand, kept the opposition out of the end zone from just a couple yards away. So they continue to play hard with the clock running. It's 7:27 to go as Hazleton area got to bring the punt team on.
Yeah, Armani Mackey was the man who made the play that time. Very strong from his down defensive end position on the right.
Peyton Williams, Drayden Wilk, deep for Berwick. Kick by Russo, will be fielded by Williams, and he's brought down immediately at the 10-yard line. So that's where Berwick will put it in play with 7:05 remaining in the game. And the Bulldogs leading this one by a score of 40-0.
I like that rugby kicker, Jim. He looks very cool. He's been getting better snaps of late. Rolls himself to the right, buys time for his team, and almost like a soccer goalie with that drop and kick as he's moving. Nice length on that one downfield.
Berwick takes over. Bulldogs trying to preserve their third shutout of this season with under 7 minutes remaining in the game. Moore waiting the shotgun snap. And the ball is loose. Scramble is on. Hazleton is in the end zone. They're saying they have it at the 1-yard line.
They did recover it cleanly. It was James Bugda, but he was down on a knee when he picked it up, and he spun into the end zone untouched. However, in high school, you down yourself when the knee's there. So James Bugda does not get that glory of a touchdown against Berwick on his resume. It's a big recovery for his team, and Hazleton hopes to be able to score here. I don't know if you can push that 140-some-pound quarterback across this line with the sneak, but I feel for, the way he's played in this game, he deserves a touchdown.
So Hazleton area takes over inside the Berwick 1-yard line. Molesky is the tailback in the eye. The call goes to Mattarella, and did he get in? No indication. He did not. Berwick stacks it up.
They do. He was the first man, the fullback ahead of the tailback, and they gave it to him. Mattarella gets stopped by the Berwick D. You mentioned that great goal line stand they had earlier in the season, Jim. Can they duplicate it?
Second down and goal. Hazleton area inches away from their first score of the night with 6:09 to go.
James Bugda is the center, the man who recovered the fumble right there where the ball is spotted. I let my quarterback follow him knowing the snap count.
Wolf gives to Molesky. Molesky is in for a Hazleton area touchdown. Kevin Molesky in from 1 yard out with 5:51 to go in the game.
Semi formation, good blocking off the left side. Able to push their way on through as he follows his fullback. And they'll use the block of Richie Santos as well as James Bugda, who's at center, to get the score.
Hazleton area trying to get a player off for this extra point attempt. Russo will kick it out of the hold of Fisher. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Time on the field, 5:51 to play. Berwick 40, Hazleton area 7. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
SUV season is here at Kent Pollock Ford. Get back to school with plenty of cargo room and enough seating to haul all your family and friends. Don't worry about being a teacher's pet. You get to grade with $5,500 back on every 2019 Ford SUV going on now at Kent Pollock Ford. Need a little more pickup at your tailgate? Get up to $12,900 in savings off MSRP or 0% financing on America's best-selling truck, the 2019 Ford F-150. Don't be late. Offers end soon. Stop in and shop Kent Pollock Ford, Berwick.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
Hazleton area finally on the board. A 1 yard drive. Recovering a fumble at the Berwick 1 yard line. So they will kick it away. Logan Smith. Devin Smith. Drayden Wilk deep for Berwick. Now the Berwick coaching staff instructs all of them to come up, expecting perhaps an onside kick by the Cougars with 5:51 to play. So Luke Russo does all the kicking for this team, the punting and the place kicking and the kicking off. Berwick was still the 3 people deep, but they're back around the 20, and the rest of the players on alert. We'll see how the Cougars play it. kick goes long to the far side over the head of Logan Smith inside the 10. He fields it at the 6-yard line, trying to get away to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, the 25, the 30, the 35, the 40. The kicker, Russo, trying to make the play, and he does so, getting him out of bounds at Hazleton area territory. Terrific return by sophomore Logan Smith.
It really was. He had to field it. It was going to stay in bounds, not go out, not reach the end zone. So he had to back on up as the ball really got they got a nice foot into the kick. But then he ran to the left, made people miss, knifed back to the right, and before you know it, it's a question of could Luke Russo stop him, the kicker. He only goes 145 pounds, but he played the sideline properly and was able to take that kick returner out of bounds.
47 yards on the kick return by Logan Smith. And Berwick will have it at the Hazleton area, 47-yard line with a first down, 5:25 remaining in the game. High formation behind Moore, gives to Spezzoletti, tries the right side, gets a yard, maybe two, near the Hazleton area 45-yard line.
His fourth carry of this second half. Tough yard on the right side as Hazleton plays pretty strong defense. 4 or 5 white jerseys coming up to make the stop.
You know, you say, look at the score, and under 5 minutes to go, you say, well, Hazleton area should put their young kids in. Their young kids start.
Their young kids do start. Many programs don't have a freshman dressed for varsity. This team had 5 starting for this game.
Well, as an example, Berwick just won.
Yep.
Drayton Wilk, toss sweep, left side. Spezzoletti looking for room, not much there. He gets to the 45-yard line, a yard gain, third down and 8.
The play selection's rather vanilla. Berwick realizes they just want to get the good workout, run the standard plays. Most of the things are staying inside of the tackles. Here on 3rd and long, they may decide to open it up. Might try to get the chains with the pass. Benjamin Moore has one complete in his one attempt.
Berwick using that play clock. We're under 4 minutes to play in the game. Play clock down to 5 as Moore brings his team to the line of scrimmage. Andrew Blockus is the fullback. Moore on a roll right is going to keep the football, looking for room. He's hit hard. He fumbles the football. Scramble is on at the 44-yard line, and Hazleton area will get the ball back with 3:43 to play.
Johan Robles coming up with that ball, as many people did not see it. Punched out of the quarterback's hands after he gained about 7 or 8 yards. And then it looked like there was a scrum falling on the ball, but it squirted toward a man's back, and Robles able to find on it there.
3:43 to go. 40-7 is the Berwick lead. Injury timeout on the field. You're listening to Berwick Football on Sports Radio HLM.
Welsh's Towing and Repair proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs and wishes them a successful year. Welsh's Towing and Repair has a long tradition of helping. You can call Welsh's 24/7 at 759-9737 if you are in need of a tow, jumpstart, tire change, are locked out, or to request them on scene if you're in an accident. Welsh's accepts all major insurance and motor clubs, and they offer all types of preventive maintenance and state inspections for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Welsh's Towing and Repair, South Mercer Street in Berwick, and at their South Center Storage Facility, Columbia Boulevard in Berwick.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
3:43 remaining in the football game. Hazleton area is going to get the football back after a Berwick fumble. Cougars will have it to 43. The injury timeout continues on the field.
It's Brendan Spezzoletti, the quarterback, Jim, Benjamin Moore. He took a good hit on that as he was having the ball forced out of him. Looks like he may have gotten the wind knocked out of him. He's walking under his own power. And he looks like he'll be okay.
So Hazleton area will have the football at their own 43-yard line. We mentioned the Bulldogs on the road at Crestwood next week. At the end of the third quarter, Crestwood leading Tunkhannock 35-16. Both those teams entering tonight's play with 4-2 records. The Bulldogs on the road. Hazleton area will be home next Friday against Scranton High School. So the Cougars get it back. They have it at their own 43-yard line as they move from our left to a right. Matthew Buckman is the running back. Wolf under center. Toss sweep left side to Buckman, looking for room, and he has some. He's at midfield and extends close to the Berwick 47-yard line.
Berwick ends up chasing that down with Kyle Smith, 5'10", 215-pound sophomore, as it goes opposite of him. Nice run by Buckman. The freshman showed good speed, good vision from deep in the eye as he went off the left side.
1st and 10. Hazleton area at the Berwick 47-yard line. Buckman again, the lone running back behind the quarterback Wolf. Toss sweep to the right side. Buckman looking for room. He has some, and then he's hit hard by Drayton Wilk at the 43-yard line.
Imitation of his brother's guided missile type of tackling. He's just lurking as free safety, deeper than anybody. But he reads that play. He sees the sweep coming off the right side. He had a wonderful running lane. Drayton Wilk, again, like that guided missile, meets him at about 5 yards into the run and puts a shoulder into him hard.
3rd and 6 at the Berwick 43. Call goes to Matthews. He has room, and he has the first down inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. Wilk on the stop. Ryan Matthews makes the play for Hazleton area as they get to the Berwick 33, and a whole new lineup for Hazleton area. 11 new players come on as they have it at the 33 after the 10-yard run by Evan Matthews.
Number 9, Matt Lashinsky, a freshman. Looks like he's counting the players and may take over at quarterback. We'll see.
He is under center on the Berwick 33-yard line. The give off the left side, a gain of a couple to the 30-yard line. That's Jose Rodriguez, a sophomore, 5'8", 145-pounder. Clock running, 1:34 to go in this one. Stay with us. Following the game, Raven Klein will bring you updated on the high school football scoreboard. All the results from weekend number 7 of the 2019 season. Here it's 40-7 Berwick, 1:20 to go. Lashinsky under center. Gives the ball off the right side, and a nice defensive play will be a loss for the ball carrier Rodriguez.
Jake Lanning is the man who wrapped him up and spun him hard to the ground. Real nice. Coming from the right side, over the center in the backfield. Able to catch that runner, toss him down.
3rd down and 13 for the Cougars at the Berwick 36-yard line. Time for perhaps one more play in this one. Lashinsky goes to the sideline, gets the play call. Play clock winding down, I formation. Rodriguez at the tail of the tandem. Call goes to the fullback for a couple. That's Patrick Petrosky. And that could very well be the last play of this one. And that will be. The teams head toward the center of the field. The final score, Berwick 40, Hazleton area 7. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio, HLN.
If you have a child that's interested in gymnastics, or if you've been practicing the sport for years, then Access Gymnastics Academy is where you want to be. Their dedicated coaches will teach you everything you need to know to perform your best, from the basics of flexibility, form, and style to advanced techniques that will improve your rhythm and style during a routine. Call Heidi Rebuck at Access Gymnastics Academy at 570-441-5969. That's 570-441-5969. Now enrolling for beginner to advanced classes at 917 East 7th Street in Bloomsburg.
Tri-County Business Machines, 117 East Broad Street in Hazleton, is where you'll find Kyocera and CopyStar copy machines, service, and supplies. Think Tri-County Business Machines for office supplies and furniture, along with printers, fax machines, scanners, and even cash registers. Check out Tri-County's Copy Center for copying, scanning, and printing. Tri-County Business Machines, 117 East Broad Street in Hazleton. Call them 570-459-0754. Tri-County Business Machines, family owned since 1969.
Northeast Pennsylvania, it's your home. And no matter what stage of life you find yourself in, what you rely on most is security. When that house becomes a home, the moment you get that new car, when your dreams become a reality, it's times like this when you have to look to the experts for advice and financial peace of mind. They're there with innovative products and services to help you with your financial future every step of the way. Together, they will help dreams and goals become reality. They are more than a bank. They're your neighbor. They are First Keystone Community Bank. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick, are your roofing experts for Luzerne, Columbia, and Montour counties. With 26 years of experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Red's Roofing will get the job done right for your decks, siding, or roofing, specializing in metal and rubber shingles. Most roofing work is done in one day, so remember the name, Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Call Red's Roofing, 752-4351. Owner Harry Titus, a proud supporter of the Berwick football team.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
All Berwick here at Crispin Field tonight as they win by a score of 40-7. Scoring in this one came quickly. 16 seconds in the game. First play from scrimmage, Tegan Wilk out of the Wildcat takes the snap, goes around the right side, 57 yards for a touchdown. As Berwick takes a lead of 7-0 after the extra point by Brendan Hinkle. Blake Bowers, punt return later in the quarter, set the Bulldogs up at the 17-yard line of the Cougars. From there, they advanced to the 5, and Alejandro Lopez went in for the touchdown. A bobbled snap with the extra point attempt, but Berwick led 13-0, 9:35 to go in the opening quarter. The Bulldogs added to that lead before the first quarter ended. Ryan Lawbaugh on a 1-yard touchdown run, 2-play, 16-yard drive. It's also a 15-yard pass to Tegan Wilk along the way. Brendan Hinkle with the extra point, 20-0 Berwick after 1 quarter of play. In the second quarter, Berwick took over after a punt at their own 48-yard line. Tegan Wilk lined up as the tailback in the eye, took the pitch, went 48 yards for the touchdown. Brendan Hinkle with the extra point. Berwick extended their lead to 27-0. Bulldogs, one more score in the opening half, came with 55.1 seconds to go as Ryan Lawbaugh went in from 12 yards out, capping a 12-play, 53-yard drive. Aiden Mason also had an 18-yard pass completion from Ryan Lawbaugh along the way. And that is the Ken Pollock Ford Lincoln drive of the game. Berwick went for 2 to try to put it into a mercy rule situation at the half, but the pass failed, and the Bulldogs' lead at the break was 33-0. Bulldogs scored in their first possession of the third quarter to finally put it into the mercy rule mode. Ryan Lawbaugh, an 8-yard touchdown pass to Preston Robbins, his first catch of the season. Big plays along the way in that 5-play drive, a 17-yard pass completion. Ryan Lawbaugh to Sean Sheptock. Sheptock was injured on the play, ended the game on the crutches on the sideline. There was also a 24-yard run by Aiden Mason. Brendan Hinkle with the extra point, 40-0 Berwick after 3. Carmen DiFrancesco went to his bench after that. The backups played admirably for the most part, but they did fumble at their own 1-yard line. And then Kevin Molesky went in from 1 yard out for Hazleton area for their only score. That came with 5:51 to go. Luke Russo kicked the extra point. That makes our final score Berwick 40 and Hazleton area 7. We have scores coming up. Stats with Andy Ulickney. Let's go to the scores first. And Raven Klein.
Thank you, Jim. All right, tonight in HLM Sports, a final. Warrior Run defeats Bloomsburg 42-14. Another final. Central Columbia defeats South Williamsport 17-7. A final. Southern Columbia beats Jersey Shore 56-14. In the fourth quarter, Columbia Montour Votech is leading Montrose 22-8. A final. Montoursville defeats Danville 46-14. In the fourth quarter, Loyalsock is beating Mifflinburg 35-0. A final, Dallas beats Nanticoke 62-7. A final, Selinsgrove beats Shamokin 27-0. Another final, Pittston area defeats Williamsport 20-7. In the fourth quarter, Wyoming area is beating Dunmore 35-14. A final, Hanover area defeated Northwest 24-14. Another final, Mount Carmel defeats Hughesville 47-7. In the fourth quarter, Wilkes-Barre area is beating Wyoming Valley West 28-0. A final, Valley View beat Western Wayne 35-15. And a final, Crestwood defeats Tunkhannock 42-16. Back to you, Jim.
Okay, thank you very much, Raven. So the scene is set for next Friday night's game in Mountaintop as Berwick will take a 6-1 record into a game against a Crestwood team that is 5-2. Here it's all Bulldogs 40-7. They win over Hazleton area. Stats in tonight's game, Andy Lickney.
Berwick with 271 yards in total offense. They held it down in the second half. They had 215 at halftime, finished with 271. They hold Hazleton to 21 yards on 40 plays. And Berwick's defense was stifling. Didn't matter which team was in. In the running game, 26 rushes for Hazleton, 42 positive yards, minus 13 for people knocked back, a net of 29 yards rushing. Kevin Molesky, 5 carries for 7 yards. Lance Johnson, 5 carries for 6. Jose Rodriguez here in the fourth quarter, 2 carries, but 0 yards gained. Matt Casadas, 2 carries for 5 yards. Matt Buckman, a very impressive freshman, 5 carries in all for 14 yards for him. Ryan Mattias, 2 carries for 8. Dante Mattarella had 2 carries for minus 4. Patrick Petrosky, the last carry of the game, a 2-yard burst up the middle. And then the quarterback, the freshman, Tyler Wolf, sacked 2 times, which is saying a lot. Most quarterbacks don't escape Berwick with only 2 sacks. 2 sacks, minus 9 yards for him. Add up the positives, subtract the negatives, 29 positive yards rushing on 26 carries, barely over 1 yard a carry. The quarterback, Tyler Wolf, saw Matt Fisher throw 1 pass. That one fell complete. He has the rest of the stats, so he'd have been 2 of 13 with the 1 interception, a beautiful one by Tegan Wilk. But his 2 completes, minus 8 yards. So not much going on in the air. I had Matt Casadas with minus 3 on his catch, Lance Johnson with minus 5 on his. Minus 8 in the air, plus 29 on the ground, a net of 21 yards on 40 offensive snaps for the Hazleton area Cougars. Berwick 271 is their number. The split is 193 on the ground, 78 in the air. Let's start with the air action. Tegan Wilk threw 1. It was an interception. The only blemish on him throughout this game is he showed a stellar performance. Halfback option pass came up short, intercepted by Berwick. Benjamin Moore got the throw 1. He completed that one for an 8-yard gain. That was, trying to see which one. Devin Smith make it a 7-yard gain. The rest of the numbers then go to quarterback Ryan Lawbaugh. I have him as 5 of 9 for 71 yards. In all, Berwick's passers, 7 of 10, the 1 interception thrown by Tegan Wilk, 78 yards in all. Receiving, Tegan Wilk had a nice 15-yard catch right down by the pylon, just short of the touchdown. Sean Sheptock, 2 catches for 24 yards. Blake Maurer caught a 6-yard pass. Preston Robbins, his first catch of the season, an 8-yard touchdown. Devin Smith caught the 7-yard pass from Benjamin Moore. And Aiden Mason took one for 18 yards. Then it comes to the running backs, and Tegan Wilk was going to be featured from early on in the game. First offensive play, Tegan Wilk in the Wildcat, a 57-yard touchdown. He ends up with another touchdown to his credit on his 3 carries for a total of 112 yards on the game. And add in the 15 yards in receptions, an interception of his own defensively, strong hitting and coverage. Just a wonderful game for Tegan Wilk. Aiden Mason, 51 yards on 10 carries. Looking at others, Alejandro Lopez, 4 carries for 15 yards. Brendan Spezzoletti, 5 carries for 12 by my count. Logan Smith suffered a fumble. They lost 6 on that. And Benjamin Moore quarterbacking, 3 carries for 9. And Ryan Lawbaugh in the first half, 6 carries for 18 yards. Factor them all in, I get 193 yards on 30 rushes by Berwick. Add in the 78 in the air. Berwick finishes with 271 compared to what their defense gave up, just 21 yards to the Hazleton offense. Berwick seems primed for a good matchup next week, Jim.
Should be, with 6-1 Bulldogs against the 5-2 Comets of Crestwood. We'll wrap it up from Crispin Field. When we return, you're listening to Bulldogs Football on Sports Radio, HLM.
Mason's Monogrammic Service has the biggest selection of Bulldog football items in Berwick. Mason's is family-owned and is celebrating more than 30 years in business. Get all new Bulldog wear for 2019, like tees, tanks, and polos, hoodies, sweatshirts, jackets, and caps. Even onesies and toddler tees and lots more for any Bulldog fan. Mason's also has screen printing for businesses, teams, and organizations. Mason's Monogrammic Service, 225 West Front Street, Berwick, or at masonsmonogramming.com.
Somebody needs you. Make a difference in someone's life. Caregivers America is presently hiring direct care workers for their Berwick office location. Caregivers America offers next day pay, direct deposit, paid time off, and paid training. Create your own schedule. Clients close to home. Go to caregiversamerica.com or call the Berwick office 570-759-7757. Caregivers America.
The Mayo Funeral Homes, located at 110 Chestnut Street in Berwick and 77 Main Street in Chickashinny, are proud sponsors of Berwick Bulldog football. The Mayo Funeral Homes, serving all faiths, makes it easier for those you love with pre-arranged funeral counseling, insurance, and pre-financed funerals. Mayo Funeral Homes also offers expert guidance in both traditional and cremation services. Mayo Funeral Homes, perfection in every detail.
It won't be long before tax time rolls around, so remember to visit Michael Daddio CPA at ND Accounting and Consulting for your income tax needs. ND Accounting and Consulting handles both business and individual taxes, as well as offering a variety of accounting services, including payroll, auditing, and bookkeeping. For tax and accounting services, look for Michael Daddio CPA at ND Accounting and Consulting with 2 locations, 214 Pine Street in Berwick and 5929 Main Road in Sweet Valley.
You haven't had the best till you've been to Romeo's Italian Submarines. Romeo's Italian Submarines, you've got to try them. Romeo's Submarines menu includes wings, wraps, and so much more. Romeo's is also home to Sasser Sweet Stop, where you can get your ice cream on. Romeo's Italian Submarines and Sasser Sweet Stop. Open till 9 Sunday through Thursday until 10 Friday and Saturday. 1306 Orange Street, Berwick. 570-752-8788.
See the winning lineup of Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Also, quality pre-owned vehicles at Bear Chrysler in Berwick. Celebrating their 30th year, Bear Chrysler has a body shop and a full-service center servicing all makes and models. They've earned the highest possible rating from Chrysler and the prestigious J.D. Power Award for Excellence. Need a truck? Bear has a vast inventory, including the 2019 Ram Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Or choose one of 50 new Jeeps in stock, including Renegade, Cherokee, and Grand Cherokee. Bear Chrysler, 1127 Pine Street, Berwick.
Whether it's the heat of the preseason or the heart of the postseason, teams will always get a little boost from playing at home. Speaking of a boost at home, State Farm can boost your savings when you combine your homeowner's insurance with your auto coverage. So score one for the home team. Talk to State Farm agents Lori Powell or Sean Black in Berwick, or Melissa Price in Nescapec about big savings for combining home and car coverage. Give State Farm agents Melissa Price, Sean Black, or Lori Powell a call today.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football. WHLM Bloomsburg. WBWX Berwick. HLM.
All Berwick here tonight as they score early and score often and beat Hazleton area by a score of 40-7. 10th consecutive win for Berwick over Hazleton area in this series. The Cougars dropped to 1-6. They'll be home against Scranton High School the next Friday. For Berwick, they improved to 6-1. They'll take that record to Mountaintop to take on the Comets of Crestwood, who won tonight to improve to 5-2. That game will kick off at 7. As usual, our coverage will start with the Lenahan and Dempsey Coach DiFrancesco show at 6. A final again tonight, Berwick 40, Hazleton area 7. For Andy Lickney and our producer Raven Klein, this is Jim Doyle reminding you heard it live on Sports Radio HLM.
You've been listening to Berwick Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM. Brought to you by First Columbia Bank and Trust, with you every step of the way. Bear, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Berwick. Lenahan and Dempsey, attorneys at law, the right choice when things go wrong. Berwick Dental Arts, quality care for your dental health. Mason's Monogram Service for all your Bulldog merchandise. The Medicine Shop, East 9th Street in Berwick. Neighbor Fence Company, residential and commercial fencing. Your Berwick State Farm agents Lori Powell, Sean Black, and Melissa Price. Hometown agents who understand Berwick's needs. First Keystone Community Bank. Yesterday's traditions, tomorrow's vision. Caregivers America. Supplies, therapy, home health, and care. CaregiversAmerica.com. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick for all your home improvements. Ken Pollock Ford Lincoln, Northeast PA's #1 trusted dealership. Yannick Real Estate, commercial and residential. Mayo Funeral Home of Berwick and Chickshitty. Welsh's Towing and Repair. Towing, recovery, and lockout services. ND Accounting and Consulting, your hometown CPA firm. Riverview Block, Inc. of Berwick. The law offices of Lutz & Petty, protecting you. S.J. Kowalski Heating and Cooling, the way the earth intended. Alexander Family Dealership, Central Road in Bloomsburg. Access Gymnastics Academy, East 7th Street in Bloomsburg. Name brand liquidations in the Berwick Plaza on Route 11. Advanced Auto Services, West Front Street, Berwick. Jeffrey McKinnon, financial advisor with Ameriprise Financial Services, Inc. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Brookdale Senior Living, 420 Schaefer Road in Bloomsburg. Romeo's Italian Submarines and Sasser Sweet Stop, 1306 Orange Street, Berwick. Knockbusters Archery in Berwick, where good friends come to get their knocks busted. Fairfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, Route 11 in Danville, for the best price and hometown value. Traditional Home Health Care, 120 East 3rd Street in Berwick. And by Surplus Outlet, Route 11 in Briar Creek. HLM is the Valley Sports Leader.